gusts of eerie wind, and a visible range of just 10 meters. Past 10 meters, it was all gray fog. From within the fog came the occasional beast's roar. I frowned, staring at the 3 cards that had surfaced before me. Streams of information drifted past my eyes like a barrage of scrolling comments. A Forbidden World survival game. 3 cards to start. Must draw a card within 3 days, or face erasure. If you're strong enough, you can flip all 3 cards. Cards refresh once every 3 days. Cards can be traded, so it's basically a life or death trial every 3 days. This was the World Channel. Anyone could post. Card 1's a woman. Card 2's an item. Card 3's an animal. Haha. Looks like I can see mysterious hints. I've awakened a special ability. Just as I figured, we Islanders are the real protagonists. You Yanhuang folks, you Eagle Landers, you Asans, you Thiefland lot. Now watch the show me, Gojo Ray, is about to put on. I'll draw the first card. I choose to pull a woman. Posted by the Islander, Gojo Ray. I can see the hints too, and I'm Yanhuang. My 3 cards say the exact same thing as yours, so clearly you Islanders aren't any protagonist. Posted by the Yanhuang man, Li Chunyang. Hehe. I can see hints too. My first 2 cards are the same as yours, only the third's different. Mine's a plant. My name's Alice, I'm a Westerner, and I'm so cute. Posted by someone calling herself Alice, so everyone could see the hints. I thought a moment, then posted to the World Channel myself. My 3 cards. First a woman, second an item, third a plant. Exactly the same as Alice's 3. You lot can't fool me. I come from the Gojo clan. Do you even know what the Gojo clan means? I was born with a special 6th sense. I can't possibly be wrong. Come, woman of the first card, heed my summons. Haha, it really is a woman. Your daddy's pleased. Wait, what? Sadako? How'd she turn into Sadako? Don't come near me, and oh. The next second, Gojo Ray's avatar went gray. Gray meant death. Sadako? The woman Gojo Ray drew had turned into Sadako, so the hints everyone could see were only the most basic type of prompt. I cocked an eyebrow and posted too. The woman Gojo Ray drew was Sadako? The hell? Which one do I even draw, woman? Item? Animal? Somebody tell me. And here I thought the first round would let everybody learn the rules and coast through easy. Guess I was overthinking it. Is my woman card gonna be a female ghost? My item card a booby trap? My animal card some man-eater like a lion or a tiger? All kinds of messages drifted past. You could tell, everyone was rattled. I swept my eyes over the 3 cards again. The basic hints hadn't changed one bit. Woman, item, plant. Nothing to go on at all. What's there to be scared of? Worst case you die. Remember my name. I'm Li Si, the outlaw Li Si, and I'll draw the woman card too. What? Ah crap, a female ghost in red. I'm done. Li Si's a goner. A few seconds later, Li Si's avatar went gray. The World Channel fell dead silent. I cocked an eyebrow again. The woman card, was it all traps? Anyone got a walkthrough? Alice's message drifted past. Live or die, it's all down to fate. Unless you can see more hints. Li Chunyang's message drifted past. More hints. If only I could see more hints. Ding. What's going on? Did I just hear a ding? The basic hints on all 3 cards had changed. My eyes went wide. Card 1. A woman, 10 Sadakos in disguise. Card 2. An item, survival supplies. Card 3. A plant, the slumbering willow god. Within the reach of the divine willow, no one in the forbidden world can harm you in the slightest. The woman card was Sadako's. The item card was survival supplies. The plant card was a slumbering willow god. I was seeing extra info attached to the basic hints. For real? I rubbed my eyes, half unable to believe it. If the extra info was real, then by the rules of Forbidden World Survival, this round I only had to draw the item card, grab the survival supplies, and I'd coast easily into the next round. If there's survival supplies every round, and I draw it every round, doesn't that mean I can just scrape by all the way to the end? I calculated inwardly. But just scraping by, that's got no ambition to it. Since I can see the extra info, I can absolutely play it step by step and build up my strength fast. If I draw a willow god right off the bat and still can't rise up, then I'm the trashiest of trash. A slumbering willow god, refined into a card. Who exactly built this forbidden world? Forget it, no point overthinking. There was one bit of cheating though. The willow god was clearly a god. How to get filed under the plant card instead of the woman card? Just as I was about to act, the World Channel lit up again. Oh, Li Chunyang here, and my luck's not bad. I drew the golden light incantation of Mount Longhu. Fellow Yanhuang, let's all give it our best. After all, only by topping the point rankings can our civilization carry on. Mount Longhu, the Golden Light Incantation, a cultivation art. Hee. My luck's not bad either. I drew a female knight, and she's already taken me as her master. Alice's message drifted past. A female knight, taken her as master? Something stirred in me, and a line of small text happened to surface in the extra info. Note: character cards are independent survivors, with their own will, memories, and goals. They can ally with you or turn against you. They are by no means summons for you to command. So that's how it was. This so-called taking her as master was nothing but Alice's own wishful thinking. That female knight was a living person, and who knew what scheme she was hiding? A female knight. Sorry to say, folks, but I drew a gene modification serum. Now that suits us Eaglelanders. Super Soldier Nick has been born. Blue Star belongs to us Eaglelanders, and the Forbidden World will belong to Eagleland too. Posted by the Eaglelander, Nick. Gene modification serum, Super Soldier. Cultivation, magic, tech. Did this Forbidden World's card pool contain elements of every kind? Alright, first, the third card. Whoosh! The third card dissolved into light and became a willow tree, landing dead center in my 10-meter domain. Whoosh! The willow spread its branches and leaves, and the gray fog around my domain actually began to retreat, retreating a full 1,000 meters in one go. My domain exploded from a 10-meter radius to a 1,000-meter radius. That works too. Wasn't my domain area now number 1 among all survivors? There was just one problem. Across a 1,000-meter radius stood a single, solitary willow tree, not even one building. There ought to be buildings in the card pool. I'll draw those later. Huh, is this more info on the willow god? I came back to myself and looked at the willow at my domain's center, about 10 meters tall now. Its reach already spread to nearly 20 meters. Divine Willow, Trait 1. Within its reach, wind and rain cannot touch you, no poison can invade you, and no one in the Forbidden World can harm you. You can rapidly heal wounds and recover stamina. So long as you have 1 breath left, you can even regrow flesh on bare bone. Effect scales with the Willow God's revival level. Divine Willow, Trait 2. Within its reach, you are in a constant marrow cleansing state. Cultivation speed increased 100-fold. Effect scales with the Willow God's revival level. Divine Willow, Trait 3. At regular intervals, the Divine Willow will instinctively draw special cards from the void. I was pretty much invincible right from the start, wasn't I? I looked to the second card and drew. Whoosh! A flash of radiance, and item after item dropped in front of me. Dry rations, bottled water. Asterisk, this asterisk was the survival supplies. Bit too low grade. Not even instant noodles? At least instant noodles come with a taste of meat. I sighed, quietly stowed the supplies, piled them at the base of the Divine Willow's trunk, and turned my gaze to the last card. The woman card, 10 Sadakos in disguise. Draw it or not. Is that Yanhuang guy Su Yuan who posted on the World Channel just now still around? My ex-boyfriend was named Su Yuan, also Yanhuang. What did you draw? Are you still alive? You wouldn't happen to be my ex, would you? Alice's message suddenly drifted past. Ex-boyfriend? I didn't recall having any Western ex-girlfriend named Alice. I chose the plant card and drew a willow tree. I thought a bit, then replied. A willow tree. What's a willow tree good for? If you really are my ex, my advice is draw the item card too. Alice responded. A willow tree. Looks like among you Yin Huang. The only one who's any threat to me right now is that Li Chunyang. Once my gene modification level goes up further, your Yin Huang martial arts and Taoist tricks won't be able to scratch me. First place on the survival rankings, it's mine to claim. Oh, let me brag. I took down a female zombie, already earned 10 points. First on the hidden rankings has got to be me. Eagleland's super soldier, Nick. Ahem. I dealt with a low-grade ghost using the Golden Light Incantation, currently at 20 points. Li Chunyang. Points? My eyes lit up, and I raised a hand to draw the first woman card. Whoosh! A flash of radiance, and 10 Sadakos appeared all at once. 10 Sadakos. Even standing within the Divine Willow's reach, with 10 deathly pale gazes locked on me at once, my heart still skipped a beat. To an ordinary person, a single Sadako was terrifying enough, stuffing 10 into one woman card. Whoever designed this card pool was one sinister bastard. Asterisk shum. 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 Asterisk the 10 Sadakos lunged at me. Trust the Willow God. I gritted my teeth and held my ground, not retreating a single step. SSSH, SSSH, SSSH. The instant they touched the edge of the Divine Willow's reach, they were annihilated in a puff of ash. Ding. You have slain 10 Sadakos and gained 200 survival points. Insta-killed? That's strong. I blinked. So even a merely slumbering willow god was a dimensional-level curb stomp against ghost things like Sadako. I'd meant to go brag about my points on the World Channel, but then I reconsidered. I'd just said I dug up a willow tree, and now if I said I insta-killed 10 Sadakos, who'd believe me? Forget it. Keep low, keep quiet, keep killing. I was purely invincible off the willow god's passive reach. I was still an ordinary mortal, and showing off wouldn't do me a lick of good. Later, when the chance came, I'd give that Eagle Land super soldier Nick a great big surprise. I went back under the divine willow's trunk and ate with my back against the main stem. The next round was in 3 days. Here's hoping the woman card would send me a Ma Shaoling, or failing that, a Mao Yu would do. Ding! The thought had barely landed when a prompt sounded in my mind. The divine willow has automatically purified the spiritual power of the 10 Sadakos. You have completed marrow cleansing, absorbed the spiritual power, and become a 3-star extraordinary being. Became an extraordinary being just lying here? Sweet. I smiled. Su Yuan around? I've unlocked something new. That female knight from the start is a 3-star extraordinary being, and I've already got 30 points. If you really are my ex, draw the item card again next round. I hope you can live until the day I find you. Alice. Her female knight was 3-star? Then what star was the willow god? I turned curiously and swept my eyes over the divine willow's main stem, trying to see new extra info, but nothing surfaced. Had to be at least 9-star, I guessed to myself. Taking survival tips from a woman? Heh. Yanhuangai Su Yuan, I despise you. Everyone, Nick, have also unlocked new info. I'm already a 1-star extraordinary being, about to step into 2-star. Nick, will ultimately become a 10-star general. Nick. I ignored him outright, ate some dry rations, drank a bit of bottled water, closed my eyes against the divine willow, and waited for the next round. 3 days later. Whoosh, a flash of radiance across my domain, and 3 cards materialized out of thin air. A woman card, a man card, an item card. One sweep of my eyes, and my brow rose a touch. How'd a man card crop up? Strange. This time the extra info didn't surface right away. Round 2 has begun. I don't care how many died in round 1. Here's a tip. Draw the item card whenever you can. If there's only one item card among the 3, congratulations. That's the survival supplies, and it'll get you scraping by to the next round. Alice. I'm crying. This round all 3 of mine are item cards. How do I choose? My round's 1 woman card and 2 item cards. Now how do I choose? Quit crying. My round's got a man card. Who the hell wants to survive alongside a man? All kinds of messages drifted past. My round's a man card, an item card, and a building card. Li Chunyang. A building card? So there really were buildings. My eyes lit up. Heh. You lot are still bickering over card types. I drew all 3, took out a male zombie, claimed a log cabin, and my points are up to 60. Who among you can match me? Nick, arrogant beyond the ordinary. Whoosh, I swept my eyes over the 3 cards again. There it was, the extra info surfacing. Card 1 woman, the gravely wounded Queen Medusa, utterly no threat. Card 2, item, survival supplies. Card 3 man, 10 bronze-armored corpses in disguise. Queen Medusa? A woman's silhouette instinctively rose in my mind. And the man card was actually 10 bronze-armored corpses. Was this special treatment just for me? How come the woman card didn't hand me 10 Queen Medusas? The unequal treatment was way too obvious. I raised a hand and drew. Whoosh! The first card transformed into a figure of stunning beauty, an eastern face, a woman's head on a serpent's body, clad in thin armor. Where had this queen come from? Never mind, catch her first. Seeing that she was about to faint the moment she appeared, I stepped forward, caught her in my arms, and brought her back within the divine willow's reach. A few breaths later, she opened her eyes and met my gaze. First she froze, then instinctively moved to break free, her serpent's tail nearly coiling around my neck. You're gravely wounded. I've got the means to heal you here, and I mean you no harm. My name's Su Yuan. What's yours, my queen? I said softly. You? This queen. She knit her brow, thoroughly on guard. Yet the instant she sensed her wounds mending at breakneck speed, the injuries already restored, she couldn't help freezing. What was this man's background, that he possessed the power to heal? Can you take human form? I asked, thinking it over. Whether she could shift form was pretty important. This queen strayed into an ancient forbidden ground and was gravely wounded by the sword energy leaking off a green divine blade. Once my injuries are restored, of course I can take human form. Why do you ask? She answered, sensing her wounds were already 7 or 8 tenths healed, astonishment flickering in her beautiful eyes. Strange. This was plainly a forbidden zone, and this man's cultivation was hardly strong. How could he wield such mysterious healing power? Wait, this power, it didn't come from him, but from this willow tree? This tree was extraordinary indeed. This round I drew a jiangshi and a haunted house. The jiangshi was easy to handle, but the haunted house nearly cost me my life. If not for the golden light incantation being tough enough, my avatar would have gone gray already. A word of advice, everyone, don't casually draw building cards. Li Chunyang. Heh, I took a log cabin with ease while you nearly got killed by a haunted house. What V, you gotta contend with me. Nick. My survival points are at 100. Li Chunyang. Nick fell silent. Round 2's done for me too. I got a female knight commander, a 4-star extraordinary being. Su Yuan, are you still alive? What did you draw? Alice. What did I draw? I looked down at the queen in my arms. Color already returned to her face, her extra info surfacing. Queen Medusa. 5-star extraordinary being. Injuries 90% recovered. An extremely special constitution. The Lord is invited to uncover it himself. 5-star, a special constitution? This round I drew survival supplies, plus a snake. Non-venomous, so safe for now. After a moment's thought, I replied to Alice like that. A snake? Round 1 a willow tree, round 2 a snake. Alright, a snake? Heh, Yinhuang Gai Su Yuan. You're finished, 0 contribution to the Yinhuang camp. If I were you, I'd off myself. Nick, just moments ago left speechless by Li Chunyang, popped right back up. Su Yuan, right? I'm Yinhuang too, Morong Futian. I know some of the Forbidden World's hidden info. Every survivor carries a strand of ethereal fate destiny, and we Yinhuang have more people, so each of us gets a smaller share. Tell you what, Su Yuan, eat this round snake, and once you're full, hang yourself from the willow and seed your strand of fate destiny. A stranger suddenly spoke up. Morong Futian, Yinhuang, infighting? My brow tightened slightly. What's wrong? The queen in my arms asked, puzzled. Someone's telling me to eat you. I looked down, gazing into her eyes. Huh? Eat this queen, she started, her stunning face flushing red in an instant. A joke. Pay it no mind, my queen. I smiled and turned my gaze to the man card. Draw. Whoosh. A flash of radiance off the card, and roar after corpse roar exploded. 10 bronze-armored corpses came charging at me, snarling ferociously. Zombies? Let this queen what? The queen in my arms knit her brow, her slender hand barely raised, and the 10 bronze-armored corpses that had rushed to the edge of the divine willow's reach were annihilated in an instant. Her eyes went wide. Whose doing was that? Su Yuan's. But he was holding her. He hadn't lifted a finger. Ding. You have slain 10 bronze-armored corpses. The divine willow has purified their corpse chi into spiritual power. Absorbing it, you have advanced to 4-star extraordinary being and gained 300 points. Current total, 500 survival points. Just as I thought, easy insta-kills within the reach, this ability was too broken. Could it be? This willow tree came from the deepest reaches of the Forbidden World, but how could a being like that appear here? The queen stared hard at the divine willow, trying to sense it, yet she could barely probe anything out. She recalled certain Forbidden World rumors and grew all the more baffled. This ought to be the outer layer of the Forbidden World, and if that tree really was the creature of legend, there was no possible way it should land here. And Su Yuan was merely a summoned lord. How could a mere lord get a Taba-level being to take him as master? She couldn't make sense of it. HM, wait a moment, she suddenly exclaimed. What's my queen looking for? I smiled faintly. This queen, my wounds are all healed. This is absurd. Is this your ability, or this willow tree's? Just what are you? Her beautiful eyes went round, fixed on mine. What am I? I suppose I'm someone with decent luck. What does my queen hope I am? I raised a hand and drew round 2's last card. Whoosh, supplies scattered across the ground. Bread, milk, eggs. Finally a step up from round 1's dry rations and bottled water. But when in the world would I get some meat? Here, my queen. Drink some milk. Build your strength back up. I unscrewed the milk and held it to her lips. She froze for a good while, meaning to say her wounds were already healed. But in the end, she closed her eyes and opened her mouth, her lovely face reddening another shade. Sinful, sinful. Looking at the queen in my arms, a certain scene rose inappropriately in my mind. I sighed inwardly and wiped it away. I, Morong Futian, drew a power-absorbing art this round, and I'm already a 3-star extraordinary being. I've subdued Uncle Nine's disciple Wenkai. And get Wenkai, and you basically get Uncle Nine. Oh, and Su Yuan, Willow Tree round 1, Snake round 2. You still haven't hanged yourself and seeded your fate destiny. A message drifted past. Morong Futian got a power-absorbing art and subdued Wenkai? This guy was so full of himself. 100 points, only a fifth of mine. Forget it. The more you engage with a type like that, the more he sticks. If I really ran into him someday, I'd just kill him. Battling him with words in the channel. How could that compare to battling the queen in my own domain? My queen, I'd like to battle with you. What do you say? I gazed at her in my arms. Battle? You? Spell out which kind of battle you mean. This queen, whichever kind, you're no match. She started, then let out a coquettish little huff and glared at me with those beautiful eyes. Haha, my queen's mind's gone somewhere dirty. I mean, I'd like you to test my constitution. I laughed loudly. Huh? Gone somewhere dirty? You're the one whose mind's dirty. Take this. She blanked, gave a light snort, broke free of my arms, and fell to sparring with me. 3 days later, the third round of drawing arrived. This round, a building card came. Not bad. My domain was short on buildings, and Queen Medusa had made it crystal clear she'd never battle me in broad daylight. Card 1, building. Ancient manor, guarded by a vengeful ghost, sealed by a strange formation. Card 2, item, survival supplies. Card 3, item, an immortal sword, boundlessly mysterious, boundlessly terrifying. The other two were both item cards. The survival supplies went without saying. The remaining one was somehow an immortal sword, yet its extra info used an extremely vague description. My awakened celestial, I could see through the willow tree as a slumbering willow god, yet it couldn't see through this immortal sword's origins. Was its tier even above the willow gods? Round 3 has begun. Su Yuan, you have to live. You have to draw the survival supplies. Stop drawing weird stuff like willow trees and snakes. If you really are my ex, I don't want you dying in the forbidden world. Alice, the things drawn each round should be a tier higher than the last. Be careful, fellow Yanhuang Dot. Li Chunyang. Su Yuan, right? A death struggle is pointless. Your living is purely wasting Yanhuang fate destiny. Go hang yourself already. Morong Futian. Take the ancient manor first. I ignored the messages, raised a hand, and drew the building card. A flash of radiance, and an ancient manor landed in my domain. Shum. Eerie wind surged out of the manor, its wooden doors creaking open. Haha, the scent of a human. Been ages since I smelled a fresh one. Get your ass over here. A black shadow drifted out amid the sinister laughter. It didn't lunge at me, but raised a hand and clawed toward me. With the divine willow's protection, nothing happened. The vengeful ghost paused, clawed again, still to no effect. Vengeful ghost. 4-star extraordinary being. Secret technique ghost slaughter force. Weakness. I silently recited what the celestial eye showed. I'd just gotten to weakness when a graceful figure had already dashed out. Boom! One palm strike, and the vengeful ghost was annihilated. This queen. I'll take this manor for you. Queen Medusa wiped out the ghost with a palm, swept into the manor, and after several low roars swept back out, clapping her hands lightly before me. Done. Ding. You have slain 3 vengeful ghosts within the ancient manor. The divine willow has purified their ghost chi into spiritual energy. Absorbing it, your cultivation has risen to the peak of 4-star extraordinary being. You have gained 500 points. Current total, 1,000 survival points. So, as long as someone in my domain kills a dark creature, it all counts to my name? In theory, since I was invincible within the divine willow's reach, I only had to lure and wipe out the dark creatures I drew from cards, and I could raise my cultivation lying down. When my queen takes the field, it's truly extraordinary indeed. Next, would my queen accompany me on a stroll through this manor? I smiled. Sure. She nodded, and had barely stepped out when I raised a hand and shifted the entire manor directly into the divine willow's reach. Huh, she started, looking me up and down, rather astonished. If it were just an ordinary courtyard, she could easily shift it herself, but beneath this manor was pressed a strange formation. My cultivation was plainly beneath hers, so how had I shifted it so effortlessly, and without even damaging the formation? Su Yuan, playing the pig to prey on the tiger, his true strength far beyond 4-star? Seeing me enter the manor, she quietly followed. After a lap around, I reached out and took her hand. You want to battle this queen in this courtyard? Since when did your cultivation surpass this queen's? This queen can agree to it. Before I'd even spoken, she'd already broken free and swept out of the manor. My queen misunderstands. I only wanted to ask whether you have a way to crack the formation beneath the manor. I shook my head lightly. Huh? You humph. Her face reddened faintly. She gave a light snort, and paid me no more mind. Su Yuan, I cleared round 3 entirely. Are you still alive? If you're alive, say something. Alice. Su Yuan, this super soldier's curious. What weird thing did you draw this round? You didn't draw a mannequin or a doll or something, did you? Nick. I didn't respond, because at that moment the Ancient Manor's extra info surfaced. Ancient Manor enables cultivation at 50 times speed, can withstand extraordinary beings below 6 star, currently in sealed state. Sealed, and it could already withstand below 6 star, and the vengeful ghost that had been guarding the manor was 4 star. This manor was no simple thing. How to unseal it? Swish. I turned my gaze to the third card. As long as I stayed within the Divine Willow's reach, I was passively invincible. However terrifying that sword was, it couldn't harm me or the queen. No harm in trying. Drawl whoosh, a flash of radiance off the third card, and it transformed into a sword shadow. Green sword light burst forth, and the gray fog around my domain retreated a full 1,000 meters in an instant. Queen Medusa cried out, her face going ghastly pale, her body toppling toward me. She pitched into my arms, having fainted dead away. This rusty, corroded sword had actually frightened Queen Medusa unconscious. She'd said she strayed into a forbidden ground and was gravely wounded by a divine blade's sword energy. Could that divine blade be this bronze rust sword before me? There was another oddity. In round 1, when the drawn willow god landed, the domain fog retreated 1,000 meters. Today, drawing this bronze rust sword, the fog again retreated 1,000 meters. Such a sign. Could it be the mark of a being of some particular tier? You're a divine sword, so you must have self-awareness. I don't know your origins, but you should be able to sense it. You can't kill me. Why not make a deal? You help me break the manor's seal, and hereafter if you... Halfway through my words, the bronze rust sword shoomed over. Strangely, the Divine Willow's invincibility barrier didn't block it at all. Instead, a green glow lit up and melded into the sword, as if the Divine Willow and it had joined forces. I was a little puzzled. This manor actually took the Willow God and the mysterious bronze sword working together to unseal? Rumble, an earth-shaking roar, and the ancient manor before me tore up from the ground, transforming into a Taoist temple. The Divine Willow, originally 10 meters tall, shot up to 20 meters in an instant, its reach expanding to 50 meters. I was a little stunned. Rumble, rumble. The earth quaked, as if the whole forbidden world were violently shaking. What's happening? Why is the forbidden world quaking? Who's making this huge racket? Messages drifted past in a flood. My family is special. We've always been tied to the forbidden world. A commotion this big must mean an eternal sovereign has awakened. Everyone, keep your dog eyes peeled on your own domains. If a mysterious figure descends, congratulations, your fortunes come. In the forbidden world, only an eternal sovereign tier being can forcibly ignore newbie protection to descend. And don't underestimate newbie protection. It's a law of heaven and earth. Even one as mighty as an eternal sovereign can only descend briefly. Morong Futian, an eternal sovereign. Newbie protection? How many secrets do you know? What even is the forbidden world? Morong Futian, aren't you a blue star human? The follow-up questions exploded at once. Eternal sovereign. You can simply understand it as a sage from Yinhuang mythology. Westerners can understand it as a pillar god. Your Zeus, your Odin, those god kings aren't even qualified to be called eternal sovereigns in the forbidden world. Su Yuan and the whole pack of Yinhuang trash survivors, for the sake of the camp, all go hang yourselves. Unless an eternal sovereign personally descends on your domain, you won't live to the day you're even qualified for an audience. You hear me? Morong Futian. Holy crap. An eternal sovereign is a sage. There are sages in the forbidden world. A sage? Then what tier were the Willow God and the Bronze Rust Sword? My brow rose. Morong Futian's talk of me dying I ignored outright. I knew full well that quake just now had to do with my domain. More precisely, with the ancient manor turning into an eerie Taoist temple. So could I see this temple's extra info? My gaze swept over it. Nameless Taoist palace, formed from the unsealing of the ancient manor, can withstand the assault and prying of eternal sovereigns, boundlessly mysterious. Further functions for the Lord to explore himself. Aside from one useful line, the rest was all fluff. My brow rose again. Su Yuan, you'd better live. Don't listen to that Morong Futian and go hang yourself. Whether or not you're my ex, I won't allow you to just die. If you're alive, reply, what did you draw this round? Alice, what did I draw this round? I swept my gaze over the nameless Taoist palace and looked to the bronze rust sword. Huh? It had turned into a woman in green robes. A sword spirit or a sword maiden. Miss, how should I address you? I greeted her first. Just call me Sis Immortal Sword. The green-robed woman thought a moment. Sis Immortal Sword, could you be the Qingping Sword, Master Tongtian's Tao-proving supreme treasure? I pressed. The Qingping Sword? I'm not her. I'll take up residence with you and wait for a certain someone. She should come looking for you. I won't act on your behalf every time. Special as you are, you're not my master in the end. Fighting for you always leaves me feeling I've wronged my master, like I've cuckolded my master. This round, I drew a rusty, corroded ancient bronze sword. I had nothing to say and quietly replied to Alice. A weapon? A rusty ancient bronze sword? Is it still sharp? Can it kill man-eaters like lions and tigers? Does it have enchantments? Can it deal with dark creatures? Alice replied quickly. Not one bit of use. Alice, from this guy's post you should be able to tell. He drew another piece of trash this round. Willow tree round 1, snake round 2, rusty bronze sword round 3. Su Yuan, just wait for death. Nick. Su Yuan, stop drawing. Go hang yourself. Someone like you living really is a waste of our Yanhuang fate destiny. Morong Futian. Just then Queen Medusa woke in my arms, her stunning face flashing with dismay. She abruptly recalled something, panic flickering in her eyes, and she clutched me tight, murmuring aloud. This queen is so frightened. I don't want to leave any regrets. Su Yuan, your cultivation needn't surpass this queen's. This queen is willing to battle you all the same. Battle? The green-robed woman glanced my way and couldn't help muttering. I've slumbered too long. Have I fallen behind the times? This little Medusa's talk of battle. How is it not the same meaning as I understand it? In her eyes, Queen Medusa was merely a little Medusa who'd once strayed into her slumbering forbidden ground. She'd casually released a trace of aura and frightened the other half to death. It was only on my account that she gave the queen a few extra looks. Su Yuan, the more I look, the odder it gets. The first glance is like meeting the sage Master Tongta. The second glance, like meeting the world-honored one of the Buddhas. The third glance, like a pillar dark god, a lord conscripted into the forbidden world, and yet he bears the legendary aspect of a Deluo. The green-robed woman murmured to herself and tried to commune with the divine willow, but got no response whatsoever. She smiled faintly and closed her eyes, as if entering seclusion. Over here, I thought I'd misheard. My queen wants to battle me? You don't want to, she said softly. I'd be overjoyed. How could I not want to? Let me turn off a few things, and next I'll battle my queen with everything I've got. I laughed loudly, shut off the world channel outright, scooped her up crosswise in my arms, and swept into the mysterious Taoist temple that manor had become. Boom! The temple slammed shut. Rumble, rumble. A short while later, the forbidden world began quaking again. Just as I thought, those fellows must all be searching for this temple. Pity the temple veils all cause and effect. Unless they seal themselves into cards and get drawn by Su Yuan, they'll never find this place. The green-robed woman opened her eyes and glanced at the Taoist palace. Su Yuan's domain, though part of the forbidden world, has in truth become a world unto itself. Not even an eternal sovereign can pry into it. He guessed I'm Master Tongtian's Qingping sword. I've seen the Qingping sword, but I'm not her. With that pride of hers, the Qingping sword would never permit anyone to call her Sis Immortal Sword. I'm different. I'm quite glad to have people call me Sis Immortal Sword. Her murmur done, she closed her eyes once more. Half a day later, inside the mysterious Taoist temple in my domain. What on earth is going on with the forbidden world? It's only round 3. Why'd it quake so many times today? Could all those eternal sovereign big shots Murong Futian mentioned have woken up? Don't you all think the later quakes had a real rhythm to them? My battle with the queen over, I opened the world channel. Messages drifted past in a flood. The forbidden world had quaked several more times. Ding. Your cultivation has risen to 5-star extraordinary. That works too? Then what about the queen? I looked down. She'd actually wrapped me up with her serpent's tail. Had she advanced too? Queen Medusa, 6-star extraordinary being. See God bloodline awakened. See God inheritance now opened. Note, Queen Medusa is not with child. Wasn't the extra info my celestial I let me see just a bit too much? Su Yuan around? This super soldier wants to compare domain strength with you. I've advanced to 2-star extraordinary, with a log cabin shelter and 1 2-star extraordinary robot. Survival points at a stunning 76. My domains expanded a full extra time over, a whole 20-meter radius. Su Yuan, with your willow tree, snake, and rusty bronze sword, have your points broken 20? Has your domain pushed even half a meter outward? Heh, if you feel inferior, don't bother replying. Go hang yourself. Nick, message after message. I didn't reply, only quietly glanced at the Lord panel. Lord, Su Yuan Personal Cultivation, 5-star Extraordinary Domain Area, 2,000-meter radius. Domain Characters, Willow God, Star Rank Unknown. Queen Medusa, 6-star Extraordinary. Sis Immortal Sword, Star Rank Unknown. Domain Buildings, Nameless Taoist Temple, Star Rank Unknown. Personal Survival Points, 1,000. Sis Immortal Sword. Then shouldn't the Willow God be called Sis Willow God? 2 days remained until the 4th round of drawing. Surely I couldn't just spend these 2 days battling the queen in the temple the whole time. Although in the deepest part of my heart, that was exactly what I was thinking. Outside the domain was all gray fog. Should I go explore it? Safety was a concern. What was that I saw? The temple had produced new extra info. Power of reincarnation. Characters bound to the temple, so long as they're within a 10-*** radius of the temple, can be reborn infinitely with no loss. This ability was too strong. But didn't it overlap with the Willow God's invincible domain? No, it didn't overlap. The Willow God's domain could kill enemies. Combined. Whoosh, a flash of radiance, and both I and Queen Medusa were bound to the nameless Taoist temple, an extra line appearing on each of our character panels. Power of reincarnation. Within a 10-** radius of the temple, you can be reborn infinitely with no loss. Could that coverage range be upgraded? If one day it covered the entire forbidden world, wouldn't I and my subordinates be an undying legion? My eyes lit up, and I decided at once. Once the queen woke, I'd go explore the gray fog and strive to claim the whole 10-** radius within 2 days. 2 days remain until the 4th life or death trial. Su Yuan, you still haven't hanged yourself? Is that snake from your 2nd round still around? Fancy some instant noodles? I'll mercifully trade a cooked bucket of braised beef noodles for that snake of yours. Morong Futian. I only smiled faintly. Big bro here was busy expanding his domain. No time for a fly like this. If I ran into him later, I'd just swat him dead with one slap. Kill. Guard the glory of the magic empire. Fight for the White Queen. Fight for the Blood Emperor. Boom! Queen Medusa swung a slap, and the ancient knights charging out of the gray fog stronghold were insta-killed to the last in an instant. Ding! You have slain a squad of ancient knights and captured the stronghold, gaining 10 sets of ancient knight armor. Your domain has expanded. You have gained 600 survival points. I nodded, satisfied. Against dark creatures below 6-star, the queen was a curb stomp from start to finish. Onward. Today I'd claim all the gray fog within a 10-** radius of the temple. Ding. Queen Medusa has destroyed the rotting goblin tribe. You have gained 10 jars of grease, 3 3-star extraordinary blueprints, and 10 jars of malt ale. Your domain has expanded. You have gained 500 survival points. She flattened a goblin tribe in under 5 minutes. Why not recruit goblins? To my mind, there was no need whatsoever. Goblin tech was a one-slap affair in front of the queen, to say nothing of characters like the Willow God and Sis Immortal Sword. Forget goblins. Even Trisolarans showing up wouldn't cut it. Besides, among the 3 cards each round, a tech card ought to turn up sooner or later. Ding. Queen Medusa has slain the fallen twin-headed dragon. You have gained. Ding. Queen Medusa has captured the ogre tribe. You have gained. Ding. Queen Medusa has slain the 6-star extraordinary dark warlock Monet. You have gained a 7-star extraordinary potion and the legendary item, the Coin of Fate. The dark warlock Monet was a follower of the abyssal elder god Amon. Amon attempted to forcibly descend a divine projection, and the descent failed. A 7-star extraordinary potion? The legendary Coin of Fate? The abyssal elder god Amon. Why did that name sound a little familiar? My lord, the gray fog within a 10-** radius of the temple has all been claimed. Just then the queen flew over. My lord feels too distant. If the queen doesn't mind, she can call me husband. I smiled faintly. Huh? Husband? She called it out reflexively, then abruptly came to her senses and shot me a glare with those beautiful eyes. Huh? I laughed loudly and opened the Lord panel. The 2 most striking gains. Domain area, a 10-** radius. Personal survival points, already reaching 5,000. I explored part of the gray fog and claimed a small zombie cave. My domains expanded to a 50-meter radius, points over 300. It's not too much for me to claim first place, is it? Morong Futian. 300 points and he wants to claim first? Heh. I chuckled softly and brought the queen back to the temple. Are we going to battle again? She asked, gazing at me with those beautiful eyes. Don't rush. Let me first see what the coin of fate does. I took out the coin and swept my eyes over the extra info. Coin of fate, legendary item. Its two faces, heads and tails, represent the two sides of anything. Using it will bring opportunity and peril. Please use with caution. Opportunity? Risk? Standing here inside this nameless Taoist temple, what risk did I have to fear? The coin of fate. Be careful. Rumor has it was forged by the elder god, the serpent of fate, and the serpent of fate is exceedingly cunning. Queen Medusa looked at the coin of fate in my hand, recalled some rumors, and spoke up in reminder. Not a big problem. I simply tossed the coin up. Ding. You have used the coin of fate. Please await the result. 3, 2, 1. Whoosh. A flash of light, and an object appeared in the temple. Huh. A baby carriage? A baby sitting inside, sucking on a bottle no less. At that moment, the baby and I stared at each other, wide-eyed. A cute little baby, boy or girl. Queen Medusa blanked a moment, then reached out to lift the baby's diaper. Hands off. The baby yanked the bottle away, glared furiously at the queen, and unwittingly released a mysterious aura, which was instantly suppressed by the temple. Holy crap. The baby's eyes went wide. The elder god, the serpent of fate? Queen Medusa suddenly recalled another rumor and could scarcely believe it. The very first time I used the coin of fate, I directly summoned the serpent of fate. What kind of luck was this? Little one, you're the serpent of fate? I opened my mouth. The celestial I had in fact already shown me the extra info. Divine infant, transformed from the serpent of fate. The serpent of fate is one of the elder gods, and may be regarded as the incarnation of fate itself. Tier, true god. True god, seemingly no match for the willow god or cis immortal sword. So were the willow god and cis immortal sword both eternal sovereigns? The little thing, pinned down by the temple, couldn't be cunning at all. I smiled inwardly. Fellow Yin Huang, a reminder for you all. If you obtain the legendary item, the coin of fate, whatever you do, don't use it. Put it straight up on the world channel to trade. We Morong family are connected to the Forbidden World clans, and we know a secret. The elder god who forged the coin of fate, the serpent of fate, was once nearly slain by an Eastern great figure. So we Yin Huang get no benefit from using the coin of fate. It only invites calamity. Everybody got that. Morong Futian. Almost simultaneously, the baby in the temple opened its mouth and called out to me. Papa. Huh. The queen and I both blanked. This serpent of fate, why was it suddenly claiming me as its papa? Papa, you don't remember me, your child. Boo-hoo-hoo. The baby cried out again. I fell into thought. The serpent of fate wouldn't claim me as papa for no reason. Queen Medusa blinked repeatedly. She'd already suspected my identity was no simple matter, and now she was even more bewildered. Could Su Yuan really be the reincarnation of some ancient deity? Boo-hoo-hoo. Papa doesn't recognize me, the baby wailed as it cried. Stop right there. If you've got something to say, say it. I felt a bit of a headache coming on. Sure, I'd battled the queen, but she hadn't gotten pregnant. I didn't want to be an unwitting father. I don't care. From today on, you're my old man. Honored old man, your child didn't bring anything good this time. Only this deceiver's mask. Please, old man, do accept it. My true body's been marked by someone, so I'll flee for now and come see you again next time. Old man, would you like the artifact of the Lord of the Sky? Your child will bring it next time. Bye-bye, old man. Blowing you a kiss, moi. The baby hollered like a tantruming brat, waved its little hand, and a mask surfaced. Then its expression changed. It blew me a kiss, and shum, it vanished. Queen Medusa's eyes went wide. An artifact? The deceiver's mask? That legendary artifact, and the serpent of fate had just handed it straight to me? What scheme did it have? Wait, was this baby a boy or a girl after all? Deceiver's mask artifact. Trait 1. Once worn, you gain an extremely powerful concealment ability. Even eternal sovereigns can hardly detect your aura. Trait 2. So long as you don't act under your true name, anything you do can boost your power. The more famous your false identity, the greater the power boost. This second trait seemed rather nice. My eyes lit up. Hadn't Queen Medusa just swept the gray fog within a 10**Li** radius? And hadn't I just gained a large batch of supplies? Why not set up a false identity and put the supplies I didn't need up on the World Channel to trade? Ding. You have donned the artifact Deceiver's mask. The mask automatically conceals itself. You may create a false identity. I put on the mask and thought a moment. Create identity, Tai. A false identity wasn't a clone. It was more like having an extra ID card. My lord, have you sensed anything unusual? The queen beside me was a little worried. Rest easy, wifey. As long as we're within this Taoist palace, we're absolutely safe. The serpent of fate can't pull any little tricks. I smiled faintly and, under the identity of Tai, began selecting items to list. Wifey. Queen Medusa's stunning face blanked. Then she came to herself and shot me a bashful glare. How could this fellow just call out whatever he pleased? But why did I like it so much? I even wanted to have a battle with him. Heavens, what am I thinking? Ding. You have listed 10 sets of ancient knight armor, 10 jars of grease, 3 3-star extraordinary blueprints, twin-headed dragon bones, an ogre's heart, and a dark warlock's robe. I listed the items I reckon useless one by one and set 2 trading conditions. First, the party had to be Yin Huang. The final point tally of Forbidden World survival bore on the survival of Yin Huang civilization. Second, the trading ship had to be inspected by me first. It was simple, really. I had the celestial eye. Besides testing the mask, another purpose in listing items was to scavenge for hidden gems, to see if I could trade something off another survivor to awaken the Willow God. Among the survivors there were surely no shortage of capable, extraordinary people, and there were surely powerful characters who'd never once spoken in the channel. And since each round's draw could be seen as a game of luck, it was possible some ordinary person happened to possess godlike luck. Holy crap, who is this Tai? I'm stunned, listing this much stuff all at once. 10 sets of ancient knight armor, every set 4-star extraordinary. Grease can start fires, can make firearms, and it's even a low-grade enchanted item. Siege engine blueprints? Internal combustion locomotive blueprints? He's selling the stuff that kicks off the industrial age. Twin-headed dragon bones, 5-star extraordinary material. An ogre's heart, 4-star extraordinary material. Comes with a multi-casting trait, a mage's must-have. A dark warlock's robe, 5-star extraordinary. Comes with 5-star magic. Can summon 5-star dark creatures. Sheesh, summon a 5-star dark creature in the early game, and you'd walk sideways with a swagger. Tai, who's this rich bro? What country's he from? A short while later, the World Channel rumbled, messages flying past. Round 4 hasn't even arrived, and there's already a survivor this rich? Damn it, on what grounds? Tai, did you draw a high-tier, powerful troop type? Nick. Tai, from the name alone, you can tell he's one of us islanders. To think our isles have a survivor this impressive. Yoshi, big victory. We islanders are the true first camp. The islander, Mishima Junichiro. Islanders my ass. Ever heard of Dongwang Tai? What kind of Dumbakairo are you? Can't you see he only trades with Yin Huang? Beyond doubt, Tai is one of us Yin Huang. Hello, brother Tai. I'm Zhang San, the outlaw Zhang San. I drew a strange rock and want to trade it for a set of ancient knight armor. Is that all right? Zhang San. Tai, to think you've got this many supplies. Which clan are you from? I, Murong Futian, have my eye on those twin-headed dragon bones. Hand them over to me, and I'll permit you to add me as a private friend. Murong Futian. Tai, my ex-boyfriend Su Yuan has a friend also named Tai, also Yin Huang. You've got to be that Tai, right? Could you change the conditions? I'd like that dark warlock's robe. Alice. I didn't respond, only quietly swept my eyes over Zhang San's trade item. Oh, a hidden gem on the very first trade? 9 netherstone. Looks like an ordinary rock, but in truth comes from the 9 netherworlds. Beings below true God cannot sense its origins. Note, can be offered to the Willow God. Su Yuan around? Look at that Tai, and then look at you. You're both Yin Huang. How is the gap this vast? Talent like Tai is what's qualified to live. Can trash like you go die already and seed your Yin Huang fate destiny. Murong Futian. Murong Futian, is your brain broken? Did my ex take your fate destiny? Weren't you claiming first place before? Now that a Tai's shown up among the Yin Huang, are you still claiming first? Alice retorted, there's no need for Yin Huang to fight among ourselves. I think that no matter how strong or weak you are, you have no right to decide another's life or death, at least not before an encounter within a domain. Brother Tai, I also drew a strange rock. Feels like it's got some origin, only I've no use for it right now, so I'd like to trade it for the twin-headed dragon bones. Li Chunyang. Ding. Li Chunyang requests a trade. The prompt popped up at once. I swept my eyes over it. Another hidden gem? Five-colored stone. Its outer layer is wrapped in an ancient substance. Beings below true God can hardly tell it's a five-colored stone. Note, can be offered to the willow god. A five-colored stone, the kind Niuai used to mend the sky? Zhang San and Li Chunyang had pretty good luck. Trade. I selected it outright, and the nine nether stone and five-colored stone were mine. Offer to the willow god. I chose to offer them directly. Whoosh, the two stones flew out, transformed into streaming light, and sank into the divine willow. Green light flared abruptly. The divine willow, originally 20 meters tall, shot up to 50 meters at once. The green light flared again, and in the blink of an eye it was 100 meters, a sweep of its willow branches, and its reach exceeded 200 meters. Oh, awakening this one won't be so easy. Su Yuan, you'll have to keep at it. Sis Immortal Sword, eyes closed, opened them to glance at the divine willow, then shut them again. Inside the temple, I swept my celestial eye over the divine willow as it now was and found its traits had changed. 1. Its healing effect had improved. Even with only a remnant soul left, one could be revived. 2. The marrow cleansing and cultivation acceleration had gone from 100-fold to 500-fold. 3. Every 7 days, the divine willow would draw treasures from the void. On top of that, one more line was added. Every 7 days the willow god could open the void divine realm once. What's the void divine realm? I asked curiously. Huh? The void divine realm? That's a battlefield of gods. Even legendary beings are mere cannon fodder in there. Though death, there isn't true death. Die once, and your true body loses cultivation too. You may even be forever unable to advance again. Hearing this, the queen's stunning face darkened, and she spoke up in reminder. So the void divine realm is a place like a virtual arena. I nodded lightly. Ding. Yihao requests a trade. Bai Junzi requests a trade. Xiao Yue requests a trade. Lu Feishuan requests a trade. Meng Yao requests a trade. A string of prompts sounded. All unfamiliar faces? These names had never once spoken in the channel. Could they all be capable, extraordinary people among the Yanhuang survivors? Qilin Bloodstone, Witch God Bloodstone, Heavenly Demon Bloodstone, Elder God Bloodstone, Ethereal Stone. Now these were major hidden gems. Trade. Having made out each stone's extra info, I traded for them all, and the instant they were in hand, offered them all to the willow god. Whoosh, the divine willow surged upward again, growing from 100 meters to 200, its invincible domain's coverage expanding to 400 meters. Ding. Morong Futian requests a trade. Another one. What was this guy trading? I glanced over it. A cobblestone? Deliberately here to disgust me? Heh. I sneered and directly set to reject all his trades and private messages. No need to show a type like this any face. Tai, I was only joking. There's no need for you to be this ruthless, is there? You and I joining forces would absolutely sweep the other survivors. Besides, I've got the Morong family behind me. You won't even give the Morong family face? Morong Futian. The Morong family? What trash is that? A message drifted past in an instant, the name Meng Yao. Oh, this Meng Yao. She just traded with me? Meng Yao? She's definitely one of us Yanhuan. Huh, has young Master Morong actually gone silent? Got cussed out and chose silence. Gugu, Lady Meng Yao's got quite the background. Lady Meng Yao, I'm Zhang San, the outlaw Zhang San. Can I add you as a private friend? All kinds of messages drifted past. Ding. The name of your false identity, Rich Bro Tai, has shaken the world channel. The artifact Deceiver's mask effect activates. Your cultivation has risen to 6-star extraordinary. Listing a bit of supplies to trade, and in under an hour I'd risen a full extraordinary tier. The Deceiver's mask was handy indeed. I smiled, thought of something, took out the 7-star extraordinary potion, and handed it to Queen Medusa. A 7-star extraordinary potion. My lord's this good to me? Come then, let's have a battle. She blanked a moment, then abruptly revealed her true body, her serpent's tail coiling around and wrapping me right up. The Forbidden World draw arrived on schedule. This was round 4. Whoosh, 3 cards appeared in the domain. Oh, there's a gold card. Sis Immortal Sword opened her eyes, swept them over the 3 cards, astonishment flickering in them. A gold card? Was there some significance to it? I swept my eyes over the 3 cards, my gaze settling on the second. It was a golden card, of the woman type. A gold card? Was there something particular about it? This round I got a blue card, of the woman type. I got a green card. Shouldn't it be blue skies and white clouds? Why is there even a green one? My hair's dyed red, you know? Kabang, Sawas this round I, Zhang San, actually got a gold card. Am I about to strike it rich? Messages drifted past. So it wasn't just gold cards. There were blue cards and green cards too. In the Forbidden World, white cards are the lowest tier, and gold cards are quite rare. The people or things sealed in a gold card are basically at the Thousand World Sovereign tier. Sis Immortal Sword smiled. Thousand World Sovereign? Then why did Sis Immortal Sword you? I was a little puzzled. Round 1's 3 white cards had yielded the Willow God, yet Round 3's 3 white cards could yield Sis Immortal Sword. This Willow Tree and I are self-sealed. It has nothing to do with the Forbidden Divine Temple, and the temple has no authority over this Willow Tree of mine, either. For instance, when I wanted to come find you, I sealed myself into a card and appeared before you in the manner of a card prompt. Above gold cards there are red cards. The Forbidden Divine Temple can't seal Eternal Sovereigntier people. It can only seal a portion of Eternal Sovereigntier items. Sis Immortal Sword added another line. Red cards? Eternal Sovereigntier? I could see the extra info on this round's 3 cards now. Card 1. Man card. 10 Vampire Counts in Disguise. Card 2. Item card. Survival Supplies. Card 3. Woman card. An angel, downcast in spirit, extremely low threat. She just might run off. An angel? A gold card with an angel in it? Run off? With the Willow God and Sis Immortal Sword here, could she run off? Come, draw. I raised a hand and drew the gold card. Whoosh, a flash of radiance, and an angel appeared. Pure white wings, a flawless face, only expressionless, as if interested in nothing at all. A deity? Queen Medusa exclaimed in shock. Oh, to think you're still alive, rather unexpected. Sis Immortal Sword glanced at the angel and chuckled softly. Sis Immortal Sword knew this angel? Come, let the celestial eye sweep over her. Angel, low in spirits, star rank unknown. Oh, star rank unknown, meaning the celestial eye could currently only scan beings below Thousand World Sovereign, with the ceiling being a true god like the Serpent of Fate? The angel flew into the temple? The angel flew into the temple? An angel paired with a Taoist temple. Didn't she herself find it incongruous? I'm used to myself. This round this super soldier drew a liquid metal robot. Though it's only 3-star extraordinary, its combat power is enough to rival 4-star. My rise is unstoppable. Yu Yanhuang may have a mysterious tie, but so long as I don't run into him in the early game, I'm confident I'll surpass him in the mid to late game. Nick. Cough asterisk. Let me introduce myself. I'm Gojo-san, of the Isles Gojo family. This round I drew a rather fine piece of cursed sorcery. You all can take a guess. A new face, Gojo-san. Tai, what did you draw this round? Li Chunyang. My ex-boyfriend Suyuan, are you still alive? Whatever you do, hold steady and don't go reckless. This round I drew a legendary creature, and it's already acknowledged me as its master. You absolutely must stay alive. I'll come protect you later. Alice. This round I drew the Longevity Codex. Tai, what did you draw? Mengyao. Tai. There was no such person as Tai at all. It was merely a false identity. This round I drew a single feather. After a moment's thought, I replied to Alice. Say I'd drawn an angel stronger than a true god, and surely no one would believe it. And didn't a feather correspond neatly to an angel? Since I'd chosen to develop quietly in the early game, then quiet I'd stay, all the way. Alice replied with 3 question marks. Yanhuang Su Yuan. Are you here to be a comedian? Round 1 a willow tree. Round 2 a snake. Round 3 a rusty ancient bronze sword. And this round is single feather? What garbage luck. If I were you, I'd just go find a tree and smash my head into it. Oh wait, don't you have a willow tree? Go smash into the willow tree. Nick. My ex-boyfriend. Why do you always draw these strange, odd things? I really do worry for you. I truly want to see you. Alice drifted past again. Whoosh, I drew the first card. A flash of radiance. Asterisk 10 vampire counts. Grinning slyly, charged toward my side as if they hadn't even seen the angel. The queen was just about to act when SHFF. The 10 counts. The instant they touched the edge of the divine willow's coverage, were instantly reduced to ash. Hiss. Though it wasn't her first time seeing it, Queen Medusa's heart still pounded with dread. If she'd been judged a dark creature, that would likely have been her fate on day 1 too. This willow tree really is handy. Sis Immortal Sword smiled. Ding. You have slain 10 vampire counts. The divine willow has purified the vampire's power into spiritual energy. After absorbing it, your cultivation has risen. You have gained 2,000 survival points. Current total, 7,000. Comfortable. Truly comfortable. The Willow God's invincible domain was too strong. I could level up lying flat on my back. Just as I was marveling at this, the angel flew out of the temple, looked toward me, and raised a hand. Asterisk whoosh. Asterisk a church appeared in the domain. Oh, another building added? My eyes lit up. From today on, I'll be residing in your domain. This church can produce one baby angel each day. Consider it the rent I owe you. Oh, and you may call me Sis Angel. Having said this, the angel returned to the temple. A church? Producing one baby angel each day? Sis Angel? Shum. Holy light flashed in the church, and a young angel over a meter tall flew over, immediately giving me a half-kneeling salute. Ariel pays respects to my lord. Ariel? Wasn't this angel a bit too small? Still, she looked rather cute. Ariel, baby angel, 7-star extraordinary, legendary creature, can evolve. Trait 1, holy light healing. Trait 2, forbidden spell, divine judgment. Trait 3, holy persuasion, a certain chance of converting a being up to 2-star ranks above her own. Wait, 7-star extraordinary counts as a legendary creature? This little cutie Ariel can even use forbidden spells? Is the angel troop type this strong? When the celestial eye showed me more info, I too got a bit of a pleasant surprise. I'd assumed baby angels weren't too reliable, yet unexpectedly their starting rank surpassed even Queen Medusa's. Rise, little cutie, no need to kneel from now on. I pulled Ariel up. Ariel understands. My lord gives off such a warm feeling, just like the legendary lord of the heavenly kingdom. She nodded emphatically. Then next, little cutie, go rest in the church. I thought it over. At present my domain spanned a 10-*** radius, with all beyond that gray fog, and the temple's power of reincarnation only covered 10 li. Though Ariel was a legendary creature who knew what eerie things lurked in the gray fog, best not to risk it for now. Wait, the gray fog. There was a question. When the Willow God and Sis Immortal Sword appeared in my domain, the surrounding gray fog had all retreated 1,000 meters. But today Sis Angel had come, and the gray fog hadn't changed at all. So this meant Sis Angel wasn't qualified enough to make the gray fog retreat. She was 1,000-world sovereign, one tier below the Willow God and Sis Immortal Sword. The thought had barely surfaced when the fog around the domain suddenly retreated 1,000 meters, and I couldn't help but start. Could Sis Angel eavesdrop on my inner thoughts? Was she demonstrating her strength to me, meaning she was no weaker than the Willow God and Sis Immortal Sword? My lord, Ariel takes her leave. The little angel bowed her head slightly, gave her little wings a flap, and flew into the church. Newborn angels are all legendary creatures. Angels are indeed the darlings of the gods. My lord, I'll strive to absorb the 7-star extraordinary potion within 3 days and advance to legendary. Queen Medusa withdrew her gaze from the church, her stunning face full of solemnity, and after speaking flew into the temple. My liquid metal robot is so strong. My domain's expanded to a 60-meter radius, and my survival points have officially broken 100. This super soldier, representing Team Eagle, will crush this forbidden world with technology. Nick was showing off in the channel again. I only smiled. Technology? Same as I said before. In this forbidden world, forget Trisolarans. Even if the Songer civilization showed up, it wouldn't cut it. This round I drew Uncle Nine's disciple Qiuxing. Both disciples, Wenkai and Qiuxing, are now under my command. So next round I should be able to draw Uncle Nine. My domain's already broken a 150-meter radius. Points over 400. Tai, Morong Futian, want to have a contest with you. Morong Futian showed off. Uncle Nine? If I drew Uncle Nine next round, then when someday my domain encountered Morong Futian's, what expression would this guy make? A scene surfaced before my eyes. Never mind. I respect Uncle Nine, but I'd rather only women came to my domain. Ma Xiaoling and Mao Yu could come. The thought flashed by, and I too went into the temple. On the second day of round 4, the church indeed produced another baby angel, Emil, only far inferior to Ariel, knowing just a single holy light healing, and unable to evolve. On the third day of round 4, the church produced yet another baby angel, Dor. I swept my celestial eye over her and raised a brow slightly. Dor's attributes were nearly identical to Emil's, no comparison to Ariel whatsoever. Somehow it feels like playing Fantasy Westward Journey. Baby angels are like pet babies, some with high aptitude, some mediocre, and Ariel is the top-grade pet baby. I quietly grumbled to myself. Ding. Your sis angel has offered a drop of origin divine blood to the nameless Taoist temple. The nameless Taoist temple's power of reincarnation has been enhanced. Your sis angel has been automatically bound to the temple and cannot break free, and the power of reincarnation's effect has been raised to a 20**Li* radius. Suddenly, a string of prompts sounded in my mind. Ah. The next moment, a sigh came from the temple. It was precisely Sis Angel's voice. Haha. Sis Immortal Sword opened her eyes and glanced toward the temple, giving only a soft chuckle. Ariel, take Emil and Dor and go explore the gray fog within a 20**Li* radius. My gaze shifted, and I looked toward the church to give the order. These three baby angels had long been bound to the temple. As for the Willow God, Sis Immortal Sword, and Sis Angel, I'd secretly tried and couldn't forcibly bind them. Unexpectedly, today Sis Angel had bound herself to the church of her own accord. Yes, my lord. Ariel flew out of the church, and taking the other two baby angels, flew to the edge of the gray fog. Divine judgment. Ariel opened her mouth. Whoosh, resplendent holy light crushed the gray fog. No. Damn it. How can there be a forbidden spell? There's something wrong with this domain. Within the gray fog, terrified screams rang out one after another. Whoosh. In a single exchange, the gray fog within a 20**Li* radius was purified. Huh. Good grief. The little angel cleared the field with a forbidden spell right off the bat? I blinked repeatedly, and a dense flurry of prompts sounded in my mind. Ding. Ariel has destroyed the Frostwolf tribe. Ariel has slain the six-star extraordinary being, the Subdragon Bolt. Ariel has demolished the mutant village of Yarnum. Ariel has purified an elder god's infant child. The elder god attempted to descend upon your domain, and the descent failed. Ariel has slain the legendary witch Manu. You have gained the Frostwolf tribe's legendary greatsword. The Frostwolf tribe's treasury. You have gained the Subdragon Bolt's legendary item, the Claw of Wind, as well as Bolt's cave treasure trove. You have gained Elder God's Blood, an 8-star extraordinary potion, the 8-star legendary staff, Starlight's Beckoning, Lord, Su Yuan personal cultivation, 6-star extraordinary domain area, 20**Li* radius. Domain characters, Willow God, star rank unknown. Queen Medusa, 6-star extraordinary. Sis Immortal Sword, star rank unknown. Sis Angel, star rank unknown. Baby Angel Ariel, 7-star legendary. Domain buildings, Nameless Taoist Temple, star rank unknown. Angel Church, 9-star. Personal survival points, 13,000. Huh, my points were already at 13,000? The little angel cleared the field with a single wave of forbidden spells and racked up 6,000. Tai, I took Wenkai and Xiuxing and explored another patch of gray fog. My domains expanded to a 200-meter radius. Points over 500. What's your domain area and survival points? I don't believe you can beat me by double. A message drifted past. I ignored it outright. My lord, exploration complete. The little angel Ariel flew over, bowed her head slightly in salute, and when she raised her head, those big, watery eyes gazed at me full of anticipation. Very good. Take this little thing to play with. With a casual wave of my hand, I picked a string of gemstone necklace from the Subdragon Bolt's treasure trove and bestowed it upon Ariel. Thank you, my lord. The little angel took it happily, then closed her eyes and tilted her head up slightly toward me. Oh, this is... I understood in an instant and reached out to gently rub her golden hair. The little angel, just like a pet baby, revealed an innocent smile. The Frostwolf tribe's legendary greatsword? List it. There are 2 5-star extraordinary blueprints in the Frostwolf treasury. List them. The Subdragon Bolt's legendary item, the Claw of Wind. List it. An 8-star extraordinary potion. Little cutie Ariel can advance without a potion. Save it for Queen Medusa. The 8-star legendary staff, Starlight's Beckoning. List it. Elder God's Blood. Offer it to the Willow God. I took stock of the spoils and, under the false identity of Tai, listed several items. As for the Elder God's Blood, I offered it directly to the Willow God. Holy crap. Sheesh, am I seeing this right? Legendary items. A 7-star legendary greatsword. A 7-star legendary item, the Claw of Wind. An 8-star legendary staff, Starlight's Beckoning. Tai, forever a god. You're way too fierce. Did you draw a legendary mage's treasure trove this round? I, Zhang San, am still using a 2-star extraordinary weapon, and you're already selling legendary weapons. Gugu, rich bro Tai. Did you rob a Dragon Clan lair or something? It's only round 4, and you're already cheating. Tai, do you have some special ability, like theft? Can you steal things from a distance? Within a few blinks, the world channel rumbled again. Damn, this is too fake. I, Morong Futian, come from the Morong family. My family is connected to the Forbidden World, so I know plenty of inside info. And I've only just subdued one Kai in Xiaoxing, with just one 3-star extraordinary item in hand. On what grounds do you, Tai, have this many legendary items? Morong Futian. Hoo hoo hoo. Big brother Tai, could you change the trading conditions and give me a trading slot too? Alice. Damn. This Tai of yours, could he be the reincarnation of the Yanhuang myth figure Dongwang Tai? This super soldier is greatly shaken. Nick. Asterisk cough cough asterisk. We're all of the yellow race. Could you give me a trading slot? This round I drew a most special curse sorcery. I can trade it to you. Gojo-san. Tai. I'm willing to call you the strongest rich bro. Li Chunyang. Ding. The name of your false identity, Rich Bro Tai, has shaken the world channel once again. The artifact Deceiver's mask effect activates. Your cultivation has risen to 7-star extraordinary. You have successfully advanced to a legendary creature. On my end, a flash of radiance, and I advanced to legendary. Almost simultaneously, a radiance lit up inside the temple as well, and a figure flew out. It was precisely Queen Medusa. She had absorbed the 7-star extraordinary potion and successfully advanced to legendary. You advanced to legendary too. She'd meant to show off to me a little, but the instant she sensed my aura, her stunning face froze in shock. Wife, this is what you'd call one household, 2 legends. I laughed heartily. Her face flushed slightly, and she lowered her head, softly answering in acknowledgement. Come, wife, take this 8-star extraordinary potion and use it. With a casual wave of my hand, I passed her the potion. Lord, husband, where did you obtain an 8-star extraordinary potion? She looked up at the potion, gazing at me with immense astonishment, while ripples stirred in her heart. She could hardly wait to spar with me in martial combat right then and there. What am I, this queen, thinking about? This queen was never like this before. Ding. You have sent out a trade request. It's only round 4, yet this Tai has already started selling legendary items. He's even brought out the 8-star legendary staff Starlight's Beckoning. I remember it clearly. In the previous life, the European Dark Angel only obtained the legendary staff Starlight's Beckoning in round 10 and relied on the forbidden spell built into the staff to seize the #1 domain ranking before the Red Moon's descent, winning the divinity reward, and from then on stayed ahead of us in the Yanhuang camp. This was a domain spanning a 500-meter radius, its lord an exceptionally tall and graceful woman, none other than Meng Yao. She furrowed her brow slightly, reciting inwardly. Beside her stood a woman in modern professional attire, likewise tall, named Mao Yu, a character Meng Yao had drawn. Miss Meng Yao can slay an imperial old corpse with a casual move. Her strength should far exceed the other survivors. Why the sudden frown? Mao Yu asked curiously. A very formidable fellow has appeared, and compared to him, I'm nothing much. Meng Yao shook her head lightly. She hadn't told Mao Yu that she herself was a reincarnator. Oh, there's a survivor more formidable than Miss Meng Yao? Could it be someone who drew Ma Xiaoling at the start? Mao Yu asked again with a smile. Meng Yao shook her head, sinking into recollection. Surviving the Forbidden World generally relied on luck when drawing cards. In theory, as long as one drew survival supplies each round, one could scrape by to the next. But in reality, every 13 rounds there came a single Red Moon descent, and survivors relying purely on luck to draw supplies were doomed to die. To put it this way, drawing cards once every 3 days was like a monthly exam, while the Red Moon descent was like the college entrance exam. The former wasn't strictly enforced, but the latter was different, and slackers were basically all eliminated. Barring accidents, after round 13, 10 minutes before the Red Moon descends, the rankings of the top 10 domains will be exposed. Only the rankings, not the points, which won't be made public until the final settlement. In the previous life, the Dark Angel's domain ranked first and took the divinity reward. In this life, he hasn't shown himself yet. He must have been cowed by Tai. That's just as well. So long as Tai is first, at the final settlement the Yanhuang camp will hold firm at the top of the board. It's just that this Tai, there was no such person at all in the previous life. I only hope nothing goes wrong. The thought flashed past, and after pondering a moment, Meng Yao decided to leak the intel about the Red Moon's descent. It would also serve as a reminder for Tai and her fellow Yanhuang to hold steady and not go reckless. I have a piece of intel to share with everyone. After the round 13 card draw concludes, the Red Moon Descent trial will arrive. Before the Red Moon, the top 10 domain rankings will be exposed. Only the rankings, not the points. The top 3 all receive rewards, and the one at the top will obtain the Divinity reward. The moment the intel dropped, the World Channel fell dead silent. The Red Moon descends. Domain rankings. The first place reward is Divinity. Holy crap, what exactly is the Red Moon Descent? The Red Moon makes me think of evil gods. Could it be an evil god descending? I scrape by each round drawing supplies. What am I supposed to do? I'm so panicked, seeking help online. Is there any beautiful, long-legged sis who'll pull me through? Do they even need to expose it? First place is definitely Tai's domain, and the Divinity is definitely Tai's too. We and Huang are set. Damn it, this super soldier doesn't accept this. Why expose things at round 13? This lord doesn't even have enough development time. Only after quite a while did all sorts of messages drift past. My name is Dark Angel. I drew a legendary creature at the start. Looks like I'll have to work hard, or I won't get the first place Divinity reward. Yin Huang's Tai, is it? Before the Red Moon descends, I will definitely surpass you. A new face spoke up. Dark Angel? Meng Yao knit her brow. The strongest rival to the Yin Huang camp in the previous life. Has he been forced out? Ding. The trade you applied for is complete. Meng Yao heard the prompt and started. Using a stone from which she couldn't sense anything at all, she traded from Tai's hands the 8-star legendary staff Starlight's Beckoning. The weapon of Dark Angel, Yin Huang's greatest rival in the previous life, had fallen into her hands just like that. Why was this so dreamlike? Was Tai a great benefactor? Ding. Trade complete. On my end, the trade with Meng Yao was done. The Great Emperor's Bloodstone. I've successfully snagged another bargain. I gave a slight smile. Come, offer it to the Willow God. Whoosh! In an instant, the Divine Willow surged to 500 meters, its invincible domain coverage expanding to 1,000 meters. The Divine Willow grew to 500 meters, invincible domain covering 1,000 meters. The effect of a single Great Emperor's Bloodstone is stronger than all the various Bloodstones and Elder God's blood I traded for before, combined. A Great Emperor is that strong. I'm used to myself. I'd once read a book in which the Great Emperor covered 10 meters in a single step. It seemed the Great Emperors of the Forbidden World were at least true god level. If the Willow God's invincible domain could surge from 1,000 meters to 100 li, the dark creatures in the gray fog within 100-li radius would be wiped out in an instant, and I'd only need to lie flat. A pity it's not too realistic. Haha, one must learn to be content. Let me first have a martial spar with Queen Medusa, then wait for others to apply for trades, and also wait for the round 5 card draw. The thought flashed by, and I scooped up the queen horizontally and flew into the nameless Taoist temple. The next day, 10 minutes remained until the round 5 card draw. Yi Hao? White gentleman. Xiao Yuo? Lu Feishuan. These few applying for trades again. They must be the outstanding ones of the Yin Huang camp. Yi Hao wants to trade Dragon God art for the legendary item Claw of Wind. Dragon God art doesn't mean much to me. Better to prioritize items that can awaken the Willow God and enhance the temple's power of reincarnation. I scanned over the trade prompts. Trade the 5-star extraordinary blueprints to White Gentleman, the Frostwolf legendary greatsword to Xiao Yuer, the Subdragon Bolt's Claw of Wind to Lu Feishuan. Come, offer them. Offer all the bloodstones traded in to the Willow God. Whoosh! The Divine Willow instantly grew 100 meters taller, 600 meters overall, its invincible domain covering a 1,200-meter radius. Oh, my lord can also draw treasures from the void. Sis Immortal's sword opened her eyes and swept a glance at the Divine Willow, her curious gaze then turning to me. A minor trick. How could it compare to you, Sis Immortal's sword? I gave a slight smile. Whoosh! A flash of radiance, and 3 cards appeared in the domain. Here it comes. Round 5. May heaven grant me an angel, a capable angel. May heaven grant me an Ultraman. I want to illuminate the forbidden world with light and drive off the dark gray fog. All sorts of messages drifted past. Swish, I swept over the 3 cards. The first an animal card, the second an item card, the third a world card. A new type? This round I got a new kind of card, called a world card. I'm a bit panicked. I have one too. Is a world card an instance dungeon? If so, I hope it's the One Piece world. There are lots of gorgeous beauties there. I'm very curious. If a world card is an instance dungeon, once you clear it, can you bring the characters inside back to your domain? Li Chunyang, Zhang San, Alice. I feel like my lord can see through cards. Then does my lord know, whether it's me or Sis Angel, we actually can't see through them, only sense a little. Sis Immortal Sword glanced at me with a look that was half a smile. I didn't answer, only silently sweeping the celestial eye over the 3 cards. When I swept over the world card again, additional info surfaced. Third card, a world, zombie world, produces Taoist arts, with an extremely low chance of producing flat peaches of immortality. Zombie world produces flat peaches? Why doesn't it produce Ma Shaoling? My gaze shifted again, sweeping over the other 2. First card, an animal, a phoenix in an extremely low mood, danger extremely low, only that it may possibly run away. Second card, item, survival supplies. A phoenix? Low mood again. Why is this additional info so similar to Sis Angel's? Could the phoenix have quite the background? Come, draw the animal card. Whoosh, a flash of radiance. Something like a little chick appeared in the domain. It lifted its head, swept a glance at me with a face utterly devoid of the will to live, and then started spacing out. Queen Medusa was stunned. This time my husband drew a little chick? I opened my mouth, somewhat at a loss for words. Had my celestial eye seen wrong? Was this little chick really a phoenix? The thought had barely surfaced when the gray fog around the domain fiercely retreated 1,000 meters, and the domain instantly expanded by 1,000 meters. Oh, this little chick, quite the background? How should I address you? I asked. The chick-like phoenix lifted its head, still wearing that look devoid of the will to live. Sis Turkey. It replied listlessly, then started spacing out again. Sis Turkey? Had this phoenix suffered some kind of blow? Never mind. As long as she didn't run away. Then, as the celestial eye's level rose, one day I'd be able to learn her true background. Come, draw the world card. Whoosh, a flash of radiance transformed into a teleportation gate. Roar. An angry roar came from within the gate. Everyone's seen Lord of the Rings, right? I drew the Lord of the Rings world. I'm going to recruit the elf princess. By the way, Su Yuan, you should still be alive, right? What world did you draw? Alice. I drew a little chick. After a moment's thought, I replied. Alice sent 3 question marks. A little chick? Do you draw this kind of freakish stuff every round, you brat? This super soldier expresses his sympathy for you. A willow tree, a snake, a rusty bronze sword, a feather, and this round a chicken? Yin Huang Su Yuan. Do you know how to drill wood to make fire? Just make it into one of your Yin Huang beggar's chickens. Nick. This round I drew the zombie world. Not sure if I can run into Uncle Nine. I've decided to go scout it out. If I take down the whole zombie world, I should get a considerable amount of survival points. I'm going in. Damn. Why are there hundreds of zombies right off the bat? Golden light incantation, kill. Whoa, this world's exploration difficulty is a bit high. I heard the Corpse King roar, retreating for now. Li Chunyang had also drawn the zombie world. Roar. The zombie world teleportation gate in my domain let out another corpse roar. Little cutie. I called out toward the church. Shum. The little angel Ariel flew over. Ariel awaits orders. She saluted respectfully. Follow me into the zombie world to exorcise. I'd only gotten halfway through when, boom. The spacing out Sis Turkey suddenly opened her mouth and spewed a mouthful of flame at the gate. No. Phoenix Divine Flame? This Corpse King doesn't accept this. How can there be Phoenix Divine Flame? Terrified howls came from within the zombie world. Whoosh. The teleportation gate was reduced to ash. Ding. Your Sis Turkey has destroyed the zombie world. The Divine Willow has converted the corpse energy into spiritual energy. After absorbing it, your cultivation has risen to the peak of 7-star extraordinary. You have gained a flat peach sapling and a large amount of survival points. Current total, 50,000 points. The zombie world has already been taken down? My lord. The little angel Ariel was somewhat flustered, and the newborn baby angel in the church wore a bewildered face. Your domain's temple is quite interesting. I'll just find myself a nest in front of the temple. That mouthful of flame just now counts as the rent. Sis Turkey glanced at me, flapped her little wings and flew to the front of the temple, lying down to the left of the main gate, then spacing out again with that face devoid of the will to live. Welcome to your stay. I gave a slight smile, secretly trying to bind Sis Turkey to the temple, only to find it failed, and sighed inwardly. But on second thought, for creatures I drew in the future, I only needed to test whether I could bind them to know the depth of the other party's strength. So then the question arose, would Sis Turkey, like Sis Angel, offer Origin Divine Blood to the temple of her own accord? I drew the zombie world too, And with Uncle Nine's two disciples, I've already been slaughtering left and right. My survival points have broken 800. Tai, what world did you draw this round? How many points? Come tell me. I'm not afraid of a blow, and I'll definitely surpass you. Morong Futian. 800 points? I gave a faint smile and casually drew the last card. This time the survival supplies had added luncheon meat. Luncheon meat? My domain seems to be missing a chef. Are there any famous chef characters? God of cookery? Is there a female god of cookery? I scanned over the Lord panel, then swept over the flat peach sapling. Flat peach sapling. An innate spiritual root. An innate spiritual root? Can my domain soil grow flat peaches? Probably not. I raised a brow and tried planting the sapling. Whoosh! Suddenly, a willow branch of the divine willow grabbed at the void. Oh, my eyes lit up. This was the divine willow's trait, drawing treasures from the void. So what treasure would the divine willow fish out of the void for the first time? Oh, Sis Immortal Sword opened her eyes. Rather interesting. A voice came from the temple, and Sis Angel swept out. Beside me, the little angel Ariel gazed at the sky in puzzlement. After watching this, I'll go back into the temple and absorb the 8-star extraordinary potion. Queen Medusa murmured, My lord, because of this temple, your domain is essentially a world unto itself. The fellows outside can't peer in, and by normal means can't get in either. And people or things that enter by extraordinary means basically shouldn't dream of escaping. Under these only and never out conditions, this willow tree can still fish out treasures from the void. Its methods are truly remarkable. Sis Immortal Sword said with a smile. Whoosh, here it comes. The willow branch the divine willow had reached into the void, like an angler's fishing line, gave a tug within the void, and just like a fish taking the hook, an item was dragged into my domain. Swish, all sorts of gazes swept over. What was this? It looks like half a jade tablet. Queen Medusa sensed it a bit, somewhat puzzled. If the divine willow truly was that legendary being of the forbidden world, what it fished out surely wouldn't be junk. Yet upon sensing it, this half a jade tablet had nothing special about it at all. Was it that my tier isn't high enough? Sis Angel swept over the half jade tablet, raised a brow, and her expression grew grave all at once. This thing is actually shattered? Sis Turkey, lying in front of the temple, had been spacing out with that face devoid of the will to live, but now swept a glance over, her pupils opened wide. Truly astonishing. Sis Immortal Sword remarked. Half a jade tablet can be offered to the nameless Taoist temple. The celestial I showed its basic info. I speculated inwardly. This celestial, I can only see its basic additional info. Could it be the legendary creation jade tablet? Whatever, offer it first and worry later. Come, offer it. Whoosh. The moment I uttered the two words, offer it, the half-jade tablet flew into the nameless Taoist temple, the temple's mysterious radiance flashing, yet seemingly without any change. Swish, Sis Immortal Sword, Sis Angel, Sis Turkey, Queen Medusa, the little angel Ariel, and the whole group of angels all stared uniformly at the temple. Swish, I swept over too, and in my mind sounded simultaneously. Ding. Your nameless Taoist temple has absorbed half a mysterious jade tablet. Its power of reincarnation has been enhanced, its effect raised to a 50-*Li* radius. Oh, an increase of 30 Li all at once. No small surprise, only somewhat different from what I'd imagined. If this half really were the creation jade tablet, then increasing the temple's power of reincarnation by 1,000 Li wouldn't be excessive. This super soldier has dealt with a resident evil world and obtained an intermediate gene modification fluid. This super soldier is on the rise. Survival points broken 1,000. Those few familiar faces in the world channel. Come report your points. Everyone report today. So before the red moon descends and the top 10 domains are exposed, we all have a rough idea. Su Yuan, don't bother reporting. The freakish stuff you draw every round surely doesn't even hit 50 points. Nick, oh, survival points? I'm currently at 900. Gojo-san, 800. Li Chunyang, a little over 400. Zhang-san, I haven't fully taken down the Lord of the Rings world yet. Currently 2,600. Alice, 2,600? You actually have 2,600. Damn it, I've got 1 Kai in Qiuxing. So why didn't I draw Uncle Nine this round? And there was no Uncle Nine in the zombie world either. Morong Futian. Survival points, is it? I started with 1 legendary creature, and now I have 3 legendary creatures. This round, I drew a magic world, currently 3,000 points. Actually, I'm not interested in others' points, only in Tai. Tai, how many do you have? Dark Angel. I have 3,500 points to. Mengyao. 5,000 points to. A new face, called Blood Angel. 50,000 points to. In Tai's identity, I spoke up in the World Channel. The World Channel. The messages seemed to freeze all at once. Ding. Using the false identity Tai, you posted staggering information and shook the World Channel. The artifact Deceiver's mask effect activates. Your cultivation has risen to 8-star extraordinary, mid-rank legendary. A moment later, I heard the prompt. The Deceiver's mask can be used this way too? Holy crap. I don't believe it. This is impossible. After quite a while, Morong Futian broke the silence with a curse. How many points? Tai, how many did you say you have? 50,000. I, Zhang San, only have a little over 400, and you have 50,000. 50,000 points. Our Yinhuang camp should be set. On the day the red moon descends, Tai, your domain will definitely be first, and when you take the divinity reward, we Yinhuang will be even more set. Pity the Dragon Tiger Mountain Golden Light incantation I got can't be infinitely upgraded. If it could, I'd still have the confidence to chase you. 50,000. This super soldier's scalp is tingling. Was the gene modification route the wrong choice? Technology doesn't seem so favored in this forbidden world. Zhang San, Li Chunyang, and Nick spoke in turn. 50,000 points. I even suspect you're the reincarnation of the myth figure Dongwang Tai. Mengyao. Points this terrifying. Looks like I'll have to work twice as hard. Dark Angel. Yinhuang's Tai. On the day the red moon descends, I'll do everything I can to contest the divinity reward with you. Remember my name. I am Blood Angel. I am the son of God. Blood Angel. Little cutie, go explore the fog within a 50-*Li* radius. I gave a faint smile. As you command, my lord. Ariel saluted, gave her little wings a flap, and Shum flew to the edge of the gray fog. The next moment, this baby angel of extraordinary talent opened her little mouth. Divine judgment. Here it comes, forbidden spell field clearing. The gray fog was visibly purified by light, terrified wails coming from within. And I heard a continuous stream of prompts. Ding. Ariel has destroyed the blazing troll tribe, destroyed the ancient dragon sacrificial grounds, slain the 7-star extraordinary, low-rank legendary, Lich Grandet, destroyed the death god's sacrificial altar. The death god attempted to descend, and the descent failed. Ariel has advanced to 8-star extraordinary, mid-rank legendary, slain the 8-star extraordinary, mid-rank legendary, Black Dragon Moriath, destroyed the rotting Trant tribe, slain the 8-star extraordinary, mid-rank legendary, fallen Trant chieftain Kent. And then, the rewards? Last time when the little cutie cleared the field with forbidden spells, the string of kill prompts was followed by a string of rewards. Why isn't there any this time? I was somewhat puzzled. Ding. Ariel has encountered the 10-star extraordinary, demigod, which Goliath. Another prompt. So 10-star extraordinary is a demigod. Finally, the first demigod enemy encountered. My eyes lit up. The temple's power of reincarnation covers a 50-*Li* radius, and the characters in my domain bound to the temple could revive infinitely, without loss via the power of reincarnation. Even if they died, they could instantly revive at full health. A mere demigod, slaughter her today. Ding. Ariel has converted the demigod, which Goliath. The moment my fighting spirit welled up, the prompt sounded. What? Converted? I remembered. One of Ariel's talent skills was precisely conversion. Shum. Ariel returned, followed by a tall witch in a wizard's robe. The witch Goliath pays respects to my lord. She bowed her head slightly in salute. This demigod witch, though she wore a robe, the robe wasn't the least bit loose, but rather, like a bodysuit, set off her perfect figure. Come, Celestial Eye, let's see her true background. I silently activated it. Ding. The prompt sounded again. Ding. You have gained the Blazing Troll Tribe's legendary Great Axe and the Blazing Troll Tribe's treasure. Gained the Draconic Magic Tome and the Dragon Hunting Giant Arrow blueprints. Gained the Lich's Treasure Trove and the Forbidden Spell Magic Tome, Undead Scourge. Gained Black Dragon's Blood, Black Dragon's Bone, Black Dragon's Wings, Black Dragon's Soul, as well as the Treasure Trove of the Black Dragon Moriath. Gained 100 crates of the Magic Empire's Collector's Wine, 100 crates of Collector's Cured Meat, 100 crates of Collector's Spices. Gained the Fallen Trant Tribe's Dark Holy Relic. Gained 1 Shattered Divinity. Lord, Su Yuan Personal Cultivation, 8-star Extraordinary, Mid-Rank Legendary. Domain Area, 50-*Li* radius. Domain characters: Willow God, star rank unknown. Queen Medusa, 7-star extraordinary, a low rank legendary. Sis Immortal Sword, star rank unknown. Sis Angel, star rank unknown. Sis Turkey, star rank unknown. Baby Angel Ariel, 8-star extraordinary, mid-rank legendary. Witch Goliath, 10-star extraordinary demigod. Domain buildings: Nameless Taoist Temple, star rank unknown. Angel Church, 9-star. Personal survival points: 100,000. 100,000. Personal survival points broken: 100,000. I swept over the panel, and the celestial I fell once more upon the demigod Witch Goliath. Witch Goliath, 10-star extraordinary, demigod, White Queen of the ancient Magic Empire. No actual marital relations with the Magic Empire's Blood Emperor. The White Queen knows the location of the Magic Empire's treasure hoard. The demigod which has yet another identity. White Queen of the Magic Empire. Wait, treasure hoard. My eyes lit up again. My lord, your eyes look strange. Being stared at by me, Goliath was somewhat astonished inside. Could it be that this lord who possessed angels already knew her true identity? The reason she'd surrendered without a fight was because of that little angel named Ariel. Ariel's brows and eyes were almost identical to an angel of ancient legend, very likely the reincarnation of that legendary angel. She'd originally assumed this lord had merely gotten lucky and recruited Ariel, but now it seemed not so simple. This domain was very off. That green-robed woman with closed eyes, the little chick lying in front of the temple, that willow tree several hundred meters tall, all seemed to be extremely terrifying beings. Right, this lord was even more off. Just a moment ago, in a fleeting instant, she'd nearly mistaken him for an incomparably powerful existence. I've heard the Magic Empire has a treasure hoard. I remained impassive. This, replying to my lord. I happen to know how to open that treasure hoard. Only my strength isn't yet sufficient to take it. It's guarded by true god-level creatures. A flash of astonishment in Goliath's eyes. After a slight hesitation, she bowed her head slightly. A true god, is it? Then no rush to open it for now. I mused inwardly. The demigod which was very cooperative, so there was no need for me to expose her identity. As for the Magic Empire's treasure hoard, I would definitely take it down. In the domain, Sis Immortal Sword, Sis Angel, and Sis Turkey were of unknown origin, each of unknown star rank, and I couldn't order the several elder sisters around the way I ordered Ariel. So the main combat forces were still Queen Medusa, the baby angel Ariel, and the demigod which converted today. As for the basic route of domain development, first, gradually awaken the slumbering willow god. Second, enhance the nameless Taoist temple's abilities. On the day my lord has a true god under his command, I can open the treasure hoard for you at any time. Goliath glanced up at me, then lowered her head again. That day should come very soon. Come, little cutie, take this crest to play with. I nodded and picked an ancient crest from the black dragon Moriath's treasure trove to bestow upon Ariel. Thank you, my lord. Ariel took it, treasuring it as a precious jewel, and flew back to the church. After pondering a moment, I swept over the spoils and silently, in Tai's identity, listed one item after another that held little meaning for me. Holy crap! A legendary great axe, a draconic magic tome, dragon hunting giant arrow blueprints, the forbidden spell undead scourge, black dragon's blood, black dragon's wings, black dragon's soul, and a dark holy relic. Damn, he even brings forbidden spells to sell, even holy relics to sell. Gugu, Tai, did you slaughter a black dragon? Whoa, way too fake. Tai, what's your domain's radius in Li? Tai, you're not human. You must be the Yanhuang myth figure Dongwang Tai. You want to use this method to raise the strength of Yanhuang survivors, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have locked the trade conditions strictly to Yanhuang people. Without any surprise, the world channel was in an uproar once again. Ding. Using the false identity Tai, you've triggered an uproar in the world channel. The artifact Deceiver's mask effect activates. Your cultivation has risen to the peak of 8-star extraordinary. I heard the prompt and suddenly thought of something. I still had the Shattered Divinity, which I'd originally been saving for Queen Medusa. If I listed the Shattered Divinity, only listing it without trading, purely to shock the other survivors, would the Deceiver's mask's effect still work? How about giving it a try? The thought stirred, and I silently listed the Shattered Divinity. Ding. You have listed a Shattered Divinity. The world channel. The messages froze all at once. Speaking of which, could a single Shattered Divinity cow all the survivors? The Westerner Dark Angel started with a legendary creature. He shouldn't be cowed, should he? A strange gleam flashed in my eyes. Beside me, the demigod witch Goliath was secretly observing me, and noticing my expression at this moment, her heart lurched. Strange, so very strange. At this moment my lord seemed to overlap with that incomparably powerful existence of years past. I'll be damned. A shattered divinity. This guy Tai listed a shattered divinity. Am I hallucinating? He actually got hold of a shattered divinity at this stage. Tai, the ultimate rich bro of the survival game. UVE got a cheat, called some kind of cash splurge rebate system, right? The world channel finally boiled over. Alice sent 3 question marks. Dark Angel sent 3 dots. This super soldier feels that even getting the technology of that engineer from Alien would be of no chicken use now. Yin Huang's Tai, in the name of Team Eagle, I demand you give an explanation. You even bring shattered divinity to sell. This super soldier is crying. Nick, Suyuan, are you there? Take a look at how awesome that Tai is. Morong Futian, a shattered divinity. I admit I've been cowed by you, but I still won't give up. I am the son of God. I believe in my bloodline. Blood Angel. Ding. Using the false identity Tai, you've triggered an uproar in the world channel. The artifact Deceiver's mask effect activates. Your cultivation has risen to 9-star extraordinary, high-rank legendary. I heard the familiar prompt. Comfortable, truly comfortable. This artifact, the Deceiver's mask, is just too handy. I smiled inwardly and silently delisted the shattered divinity. Huh, where's the shattered divinity? Tai delisted the shattered divinity. Damn, I knew it. How could you possibly bring something like a shattered divinity to auction? You listed it just to show off, just to toy with us. Tai, you really are a great villain. Tai, you're so wicked. I like it so much. All sorts of messages drifted past in the world channel. I smiled without a word, understanding a little in this moment. Why some fellows enjoy being the mastermind behind the scenes. Toying with the world really is a pleasure. Let's go check on wife Medusa's progress. I murmured softly and flew into the nameless Taoist temple. The demigod witch Goliath instinctively swept a glance toward the temple. Actually, she'd swept over the people and buildings in the domain from the very first moment. Apart from those few angels and the church, she couldn't see through the rest of the people and things. This glance now, her exquisite, perfect face went blank. The temple, in her eyes, overlapped with the dwelling place of that terrifying existence in her memory. This lord, was he really that being? But why didn't he remember her? Was he testing her? Whoosh! On the eve of the round 6 card draw, Queen Medusa successfully advanced to 8-star extraordinary, mid-rank legendary. Looking at the shattered divinity I handed over, she went blank, and after quite a while, directly wrapped me up with her tail, then spread both arms and pounced. A martial spar erupted in an instant. The next day, 3 cards appeared from thin air in the domain. The round 6 card draw life and death trial had officially arrived. I have an ominous premonition. Zhang San. I feel it too, Li Chunyang. This round, best not to draw any card besides an item card. The waters are too deep this round. Probably not many people can hold themselves together. Mengyao. In my domain, Sis Immortal Sword opened her eyes, swept over the 3 cards, and turned her gaze to me again. I can't see through the cards. The demigod which Goliath murmured. I swept a glance. This round was 3 white cards, all item cards, which was indeed a bit odd. I have 2 item cards, opening the first one first. Why is it a Godzilla doll? Damn, the Godzilla doll came alive. Behold my cursed sorcery. Sorcery immune. Screw me. Gojo-san. First card, item card, survival supplies. Second card, item card, evil sword immortal model, 100% great living transformation after drawing. Danger extremely high. Third card, item card, a moon model, 100% great living transformation after drawing, simultaneously releasing the power of the Grandine. Even true gods would be frozen. Rule out the survival supplies, leaving 2, an evil sword immortal model and a moon model. Though I didn't yet know what character the moon would transform into, from the description the power of the Grandine was extremely terrifying. Everyone in my domain except the several elder sisters would be frozen. This round was brimming with malice. But I'm not afraid. I have the Willow God's invincible domain, and the temple's 50-*Li*, radius power of reincarnation. Come, draw the second item card. Whoosh, a flash of radiance, and a palm-high, roughly 30-centimeter evil sword immortal model emerged. Whoosh, a flash of black light, and the model directly underwent great living transformation. Cling, the evil sword immortal raised his hand, an evil sword materializing, his pupils turning into blood pupils, and killed toward me. Forbidden spell, Wind Guardian. What? The demigod witch Goliath, that is, the White Queen of the ancient magic empire, instinctively released a forbidden spell, but before the forbidden spell had even taken form, the evil sword immortal, charging to the edge of the invincible domain, was directly reduced to ash. Goliath blinked madly. This is... Who made a move? That mysterious green-robed Eastern woman? The angel in the temple? The little chick lying beside the temple gate? Or my lord? The evil sword immortal. Will the purple-green twin swords come? The purple-green twin swords are a bit lacking. This sister hopes the Grand Master of Heaven's azure duckweed sword comes. Sis immortal sword smiled. The Grand Master of Heaven. Hearing this title, a flash of terror crossed Goliath's eyes. The Grand Master of Heaven was an eternal sovereign in the forbidden world, and this green-robed Eastern woman actually addressed him by name. Could she also be an eternal sovereign? The angel in the temple, the little chick in front of the temple. Could they all be eternal sovereigns too? Ding! You have slain the evil sword immortal. The divine willow has purified the sinister energy into spiritual energy. Your cultivation has risen. You have gained 5,000 survival points. Current total, 105,000. That's it. The evil sword immortal is only at this level? Not quite up to par. Come, draw the third item card. Whoosh! A flash of radiance, and a moon model appeared. A moon model? Goliath was somewhat baffled. A palm-sized moon. Queen Medusa was puzzled. Whoosh! A flash of lunar radiance, and the palm-sized moon transformed into a woman in palatial attire. Queen Medusa's own getup was already gorgeous enough, yet compared to her it couldn't compare at all. Medusa was like a queen of the mortal world, while this splendidly attired woman was like an empress of the heavens. Husband, be careful! Queen Medusa suddenly sensed an incomparably terrifying power that even her newly advanced 8-star extraordinary couldn't block, and instinctively shielded herself in front of me. Is this that willow god? How can you? Wait, this isn't. How very strange. How are you here too? But that power suddenly vanished all at once. The palatially attired woman swept over the divine willow, Sis immortal sword, and Sis turkey lying beside the temple gate one by one, astonishment filling her eyes. When she then swept over the nameless Taoist temple, she was momentarily entranced, her gaze returning to me. Divine sovereign? With a puzzled face, she called out softly. Which divine sovereign? I smiled, shaking my head inwardly. Just a moment ago, she'd been just a hair away from calling out the identities of Sis immortal sword and Sis turkey. Truly a pity. It seemed this palatially attired woman somewhat feared Sis immortal sword, which was why she hadn't called out her identity. So, was she a tier below Sis immortal sword? Come, celestial eye, sweep over her again. Grand Moon Goddess, originally named Changshi, Heavenly Empress of the primordial heavenly court, Thousand World Sovereign. Changshi. The woman transformed from the moon model is actually Changshi, wife of the demon emperor Dijuan? So then the question arises, could I play the role of the wife-stealing Chow once? How did I immediately think of the wife-stealing Chow? Thoughts flashed rapidly through my mind. Call me Sis immortal sword. Sis immortal sword glanced at the palatially attired woman. Call me Sis turkey. Sis turkey spoke in human tongue. Call me Sis angel. Inside the temple, Sis angel spoke too. This, my lord. I'll be residing in your domain from now on. I don't have any great abilities. I can only create moons. My lord may call me Sis moon. A thoughtful look crossed the palatially attired woman's face. After pondering a moment, she gave me a charming smile. Well, another elder sister added. Welcome to your stay. I smiled and nodded. Su Yuan, are you still alive? This round is very eerie. I don't know what's going on with your domain. Whatever you do, don't draw cards recklessly. Alice. Su Yuan, you guy, you didn't draw some strange, odd thing again this round, did you? Nick. This round I drew a moon model, relatively safe for now. After a moment's thought, I responded in the world channel. A moon model? Round 6 is a moon model? A willow tree, a snake, a rusty bronze sword, a feather, a chicken, a moon model. What freakish stuff have you been drawing from round 1 until now? Nick. Yuri, all still concerned about what this good-for-nothing drew. Are your brains sick? You should be concerned about what Tai drew. Tai, what did you draw? Morong Futian. The moon goddess Changshi. She seems quite formidable. A thought stirred, and in Tai's identity, I responded in the world channel. The world channel, dead silent all at once. Shock. Tenfold shock. This round Tai drew the moon goddess Changshi, drew the wife of Dijuan from the myths. Tai can play the wife-stealing Chow. After quite a while, messages flooded madly through the world channel. You drew the moon goddess Changxi? You're actually still alive? You recruited the moon goddess Changxi? I don't believe it. The moon goddess Changxi is at least true god level in the forbidden world, possibly even sovereign level. According to our Moron family's records, creatures of demigod level and above have an extremely high chance of running away. Everyone use your brains and think. Would a god work for a human lord? Moron Futian. Tai is one of our Yanhuang camp. Moron Futian. What do you mean questioning Tai? Zhang San. Are reasonable doubts not allowed? What if Tai has deceived us? If on the day the red moon descends, the world channel exposes the top 10 lords and Tai isn't first, if the Westerner Dark Angel or Blood Angel is first, and the divinity is taken by Westerners, then what the hell is the point of our Yanhuang camp playing? Moron Futian retorted. Moron Futian, use your pig brain and think hard. Tai even lists forbidden spells and shattered divinity for trade, and still has several legendary items in trade even now. Does he need to deceive people? Zhang Xin shot back. Ding. Using the false identity Tai, you've posted information and shocked the world channel. The artifact deceiver's mask effect triggers. Your cultivation has risen. I heard the prompt. Your scope is too small. The moon goddess Changxi is at least the heavenly empress of a certain period in our Yanhuang myths. Her cultivation realm has already surpassed the sovereign level. A thought stirred, and I spoke as Tai once more. Holy crap! Surpassed the sovereign realm? 1,000 world sovereign. The moon goddess Changxi is 1,000 world sovereign? Tai, are you really sure you recruited the moon goddess Changxi? If there's not the slightest falsehood, then can a weak chicken like me with only 300 survival points just lie flat and give up? It's only round 6, and you, Tai, have already recruited 1,000 world sovereign? Honestly, I can't believe it. Tai, you must be that Dongwang Tai from the myths. After a brief silence, messages once again madly flooded the screen. Ding. The artifact. Your cultivation has risen. I heard the prompt yet again. Haha. I couldn't help but laugh heartily, very curious at this moment as to just which fellow had forged the deceiver's mask. Had that fellow, in some ancient age, worn it to deceive an eternal sovereign? Ding. White gentleman requests a trade. A trade application appeared. Oh, white gentleman. Wants to trade for the dark holy relic? Yi Hao, white gentleman, Xiao Yuer, and Lu Feishuan. These four had never spoken in the world channel. They were hidden Yanhuang experts, and the items I'd listed before had basically all been traded to these few, plus one more, Meng Yao. So what would white gentleman bring to trade this time? Celestial Eye activate. I swept over the trade item. Forbidden World Boundary Stone. Looks no different from an ordinary stone. Creatures below 1,000 World Sovereign can't sense the Boundary Stone's aura. Can be offered to the Willow God. Good stuff. Trade offer. I silently made my choice. Whoosh, a flash of azure light from the divine willow, and it began surging. Swish, swish, swish. Queen Medusa, Sis Immortal Sword, Sis Angel, Sis Turkey, Sis Moon, the demigod witch Goliath, and the whole group of baby angels including Ariel in the church all looked toward the divine willow. Whoosh, the divine willow stopped surging. It now stood 800 meters tall, its invincible domain covering a 1,600-meter radius. Mysterious, Queen Medusa murmured. The sky-piercing divine willow. Goliath thought of some rumors. In the ancient age of the Forbidden World, a divine willow had once fought a great battle against the primordial heavenly lord among the eternal sovereigns, a battle that was said to have nearly collapsed the Forbidden World. Thank you, Tai, for trading the dark holy relic to me. The stone I brought to trade was drawn this round. Maybe it has quite the background, but upon sensing it, it's just an ordinary stone. Even if its background is truly great, the current me can't make use of it. Rather, the dark holy relic gives me the greatest boost, so I consider myself to have made a big profit. By the way, Tai, I've never spoken in the world channel. I'll level with you. I have 8,000 survival points, and my domain characters are the divine Guan Yu, the divine Zhao Yun, and a divine wife-stealing Chao. Tai, could you reveal a bit about which characters are in your domain? White gentleman sent a private message. Take a guess. I responded as Tai, chuckling inwardly. You may have made a huge profit, but I never lose. Sis Immortal Sword, Sis Angel, Sis Turkey, Sis Moon. Sis Moon has the lowest realm among the several Sis Generation ones. Yet her identity is also the grand Moon goddess Changxi, the heavenly empress of the demon race's heavenly court in the primordial myths, 1,000 world sovereign in the Forbidden World. Sis Immortal Sword says she's not the Azure Duckweed Sword, and I can't guess her identity. Sis Turkey's true form is a phoenix. Sis Angel. In my knowledge, there don't seem to be any formidable angels who could count as an eternal sovereign. There's a question. If the Grand Master of Heaven appeared in my domain in the form of a card in some round and wanted to reside here in the identity of Brother Heaven, would I welcome him or not? Grand Master of Heaven, Brother Heaven. Supreme Elder Lord, Old Brother. Primordial Heavenly Lord, Brother Yuan. Dong Wang Tai, Brother Dong. Am I overthinking? A sage shouldn't go so far as to come running to my domain of his own accord, right? The thought flashed by, and I swept over the messages drifting through the world channel, unable to help a knowing smile. When the red moon descends and the top 10 lords are exposed, especially when the lord ranked first is exposed, I wonder what expressions these fellows will make. The round 7 card draw arrived as scheduled. Light. I want light. I want to use Ultraman to fight little monsters. Do you all know Lady 8 Feet? I'm very interested in Lady 8 Feet. I'm confident I can subdue Lady 8 Feet. Could you give me a set of Iron Man armor or Green Goblin armor? I don't want armor. Just bestow me a Supergirl directly. I want to create a race with Supergirl. All sorts of messages drifted past. Whoosh, here it comes. 3 cards appeared in the domain. Swish, I swept over them. Sis Immortal Sword, Sis Turkey, Sis Angel, and Sis Moon in the domain had all had their eyes closed, but in this moment couldn't help opening them, fixing their gazes on the middle of the 3 cards. A red card. The demigod which Goliath's exquisite, flawless face froze. A red card. Eternal Sovereign level. I nodded lightly, silently sweeping with the celestial eye. Only I couldn't see the additional info yet for the moment. A gold card. A gold card appeared for me again this round. There's a blue card of the world card type. Honestly, I'm a bit panicked. I have a premonition it's very likely the One Piece world. By the way, is the gold card the highest card grade? My 3 are a man card, an item card, and a world card. The item card should be survival supplies. I'm considering whether to scrape by this round, or draw the world card to open an instance dungeon for resources. In the world channel, several familiar faces drifted past. This round, a red card appeared, and besides the red card, I have a special type card called a trade card, whose effect is that I can choose 1 card to trade with someone. I don't dare open the red card. It's too dangerous. Is anyone willing to trade me an ordinary card? Meng Yao. Holy crap. A red card. You can even trade like this before drawing cards. What grade is a red card? How dangerous? Could Miss Meng Yao reveal a bit more info? The world channel rumbled. Meng Yao has a red card this round too, and she's preparing to trade? My eyes lit up. Through Sis Immortal Sword's intel, I'd long known that red cards corresponded to eternal sovereign level. And at this stage, other lords didn't dare draw red cards. But I was different. I can see the additional info now. Amid my thoughts, the celestial I saw more. First card, world card, 7 gods world, with a certain chance of producing a complete divinity. Second card, item card, a sword of eternal sovereign level. Third card, item card, survival supplies. Sure enough, the second was a red card, corresponding to eternal sovereign level, a sword of eternal sovereign level. I'll ask once more, is anyone willing to trade the red card? Any ordinary card will do. Meng Yao drifted past again. Trade. I silently traded with Meng Yao as Tai. In the world channel, Meng Yao sent a single word. Whoosh. The next second, the 3rd card floating in my domain flashed with radiance and turned into a red card. At this moment, 2 red cards floated in my domain. The demigod which Goliath, this white queen of the forbidden world's ancient magic empire, couldn't help widening her beautiful eyes. Oh, Sis Immortal Sword's eyes brightened. My lord, you traded a red card from another lord's hands? Then does my lord know what these 2 red cards each conceal? Sis Angel asked, pondering. I can't see through the seal of the forbidden divine hall, but the 3rd card gives me a very uncomfortable feeling. Sis Turkey said, sweeping over the 3rd card. Swish. I swept over the 3rd card, and the additional info surfaced. 3rd card, item card, a clay figurine of eternal sovereign level. Come, draw. I raised my hand and drew the 2nd card. Whoosh, a flash of radiance, and the red card vanished. First a sword shadow, then the sword shadow transformed into a human figure. This is a green-robed woman who looks somewhat like Sis Immortal Sword. The additional info I just seen said she was a sword of eternal sovereign level. Could she be? Amid my thoughts, Sis Immortal Sword gave the green-robed woman a rather meaningful smile, evidently knowing her origin. Whoosh! Without any warning, The gray fog around the domain retreated 1,000 meters at once. The demigod witch Goliath once again widened her eyes. As the White Queen of the ancient magic empire, she of course understood clearly what such a sign meant. This domain was too terrifying. Another terrifying thing had come. Right, there was still one more red card. If my lord drew the other red card, another terrifying thing would be added to the domain today. Why did these terrifying existences come to this domain one after another? Was it because my lord was handsome, or because my lord had extraordinary talent? Goliath couldn't help stealing a glance at me. You're here too. The green-robed woman swept a glance at Sis Immortal Sword, her gaze shifting to look at Sis Angel in the temple. Seeing you makes my hand hurt. Sis Angel knit her brow. You actually came here. Sis Turkey in front of the temple stared at the green-robed woman several times, her brow also visibly furrowing. If you all can come, why can't I? My lord, what do you think? The green-robed woman gave a faint smile, turning to look at me. Welcome to your stay. May I ask how to address you, miss? I smiled, thinking inwardly. Never mind for now what grudges the several elder sisters had in the past. In any case, as long as they come reside in my domain's strength will grow. What's more, the formidable figures who move and will, to a greater or lesser degree, make a move and pay a bit of rent. How to address me? Just call me Sis Immortal Sword. The green-robed woman pondered a moment. Ahem, I'm Sis Immortal Sword. Over there, Sis Immortal Sword, hearing this, hurriedly reminded her. You're Sis Immortal Sword. Then my lord may call me Maiden Sword. The green-robed woman thought again. Maiden Sword, welcome to your stay, Maiden Sword. I nodded and raised my hand. Come draw. Draw the third card, and let's see what kind of clay figurine this red card traded from Meng Yao's hands actually seals. Whoosh! The third card vanished, and a palm-sized clay figurine appeared. Whoosh! The clay figurine transformed to normal person size. Swish, swish, swish. In the domain, Sis Immortal Sword, Sis Angel, Sis Turkey, Sis Moon, and Maiden Sword who'd newly arrived today. With just one glance at the clay figurine, all their expressions changed. The demigod witch Goliath directly clutched her chest. My head hurts so much. From the direction of the church, the little angel Ariel muttered, while the rest of the baby angels in the church were all bewildered. Whoosh! Suddenly, the normal person-sized clay figurine opened its eyes, and the gray fog around the domain retreated 1,000 meters at once. This point didn't surprise me. What I was curious about was the several elder sisters' reactions the moment the clay figurine appeared. Sis Immortal Sword was clearly quite astonished. Sis Angel's brow was tightly furrowed. Sis Turkey seemed to darken her face. Sis Moon blinked repeatedly, and the newly arrived Maiden Sword's expression was extremely intriguing. From this, it could be inferred that the clay figurine had an enormous background. Which one from the myths was the clay figurine? I thought quickly. Here I go by Sis Immortal Sword. Sis Immortal Sword took the initiative to speak. Sis Angel. Sis Angel slightly knit her brow, seeming very reluctant, yet also as if compelled by some pressure. Sis Turkey. Sis Turkey chimed in. Here I go by Sis Moon. Very pleased to meet you. Sis Moon blinked at the clay figurine. Sis Moon used honorifics? Sis Moon herself is the grand moon goddess Changxi. For Changxi to address someone with honorifics, just which one is the clay figurine? I grew more and more curious. Maiden Sword pays respects too. Maiden Sword had just opened her mouth. Call me Sis Clay Figurine. She was cut off halfway through her words. The clay figurine swept a glance at Maiden Sword, then swept toward me, murmured a strange, and shum, flew into the nameless Taoist temple. Rumble. The next moment, my domain shook. Rumble. The moment after, the forbidden world trembled. In my mind sounded. Ding. Your Sis Clay Figurine has offered one drop of origin divine blood to the nameless Taoist temple. The nameless Taoist temple's power of reincarnation has risen. Sis Clay Figurine is automatically bound by the temple and cannot break free. The power of reincarnation's effect has risen to a 70-*** radius. Swish. The various elder sisters in the domain stared at the nameless Taoist temple, and I looked over too. I saw it very clearly. Sis Clay Figurine was obviously somewhat dazed, seeming not to have expected that offering one drop of origin divine blood would get her directly bound fast by the temple. Of course, inwardly, I was overjoyed. Without me even having to lift a finger, an eternal sovereign-level figure was bound to my domain. Such a good thing had only happened that one time before with Sis Angel. My gaze shifted, sweeping over the several elder sisters. Sis Immortal Sword was snickering. Sis Angel was somewhat gloating. Sis Turkey directly grinned. Sis Moon was blinking again, while Maiden Sword wore a thoughtful face. So be it. In the temple, Sis Clay Figurine gave a soft sigh, closed her eyes, and sat upright within the temple like a divine statue. My luck was decent this round. I drew the One Piece World card, and the moment I opened it I ran right into the Pirate Empress. Her figure is truly too domineering. I swear I'll definitely take her as my wife. Damn, what's going on? I haven't even struck up a conversation with her. So why did a Sea King species suddenly pop out? Screw it, gotta retreat. Ah, Hancock. How am I supposed to live without you? Zhang-san. Your own strength isn't enough, and you dare draw a world card so casually? This super soldier drew the Resident Evil world this round, and is currently assaulting the Countess. What two-dimensional pirate empress? Can her figure compare to the Countess's? This super soldier will definitely capture the Countess alive. Nick. My gaze shifted, sweeping over this round's first card. It was a world card that could open the Seven Gods world, with a certain chance of producing a complete divinity. Come, draw the world card. I raised my hand. Whoosh, a flash of radiance, and the world card transformed into a teleportation gate. The Seven Gods world opened. Shum. The little angel Ariel flew over from within the church, meaning she was ready to sortie at any time. Goliath is willing, for my lord. The demigod which Goliath sensed the Seven Gods world a bit, pondered briefly, and stepped forward. Cling. She'd only gotten halfway through her words when Maiden Sword casually raised a hand. With a single sword cry, a streak of azure sword light flew into the Seven Gods world. No, you wretched thing. I've only just ignited the divine fire. My divinity hasn't fully coalesced, so how could such a terrifying divine punishment descend? I am the god of elves, Isildur. Whoosh. The Seven Gods world was reduced to ash, all sounds within the teleportation gate abruptly ceasing. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The little angel Ariel, the demigod which Goliath, and the rest of the baby angels in the church trembled. My power hasn't fully recovered. This move counts as the rent I pay to my lord. Maiden Sword said casually, drifted into the nameless Taoist temple, and closed her eyes in a corner with her back against the wall. Fierce. I silently gave Maiden Sword a thumbs up in my heart. Ding, ding, ding. At the same time, a string of prompts sounded in my mind. Ding. Your Maiden Sword has destroyed the Seven Gods world, slaying the seven false gods of the Seven Gods world. The Seven Gods world's creator, the Lord of Grey Fog, was startled awake and attempted a will descent. The descent failed. Gained the demigod artifacts Isildur's Bow, Duriel's Battle Axe, and the Sword of Griffin. Gained 7 shattered divinities. Gained the Lord of Grey Fog's notes, and 1 mysterious ancient copper coin. Demigod artifacts. 7 shattered divinities. What a bountiful harvest. A pity I couldn't obtain a complete divinity, but I was already very content. Damn it, the Countess self-detonated. Never mind, this super soldier had little interest in women to begin with. This lord has taken the Countess's castle, and next plans to take down the entire Resident Evil world. This lord is confident of breaking 1,500 points this round, and confident of advancing to 4-star extraordinary. Yin Huang's Tai, one day in the future, I will definitely surpass you. Nick drifted past again. I merely smiled, casually bestowing the demigod artifacts upon the little angel Ariel and the demigod which Goliath, having the two of them go assault the Grey Fog within 20 li outside the domain. The other demigod artifact I left for Queen Medusa. After pondering a moment, I gave a mysterious smile. Come, in Tai's identity, list the 7 shattered divinities in the world channel. In an instant, the world channel fell dead silent. After quite a while, Nick broke the silence with a single word. Damn, Tai, you're not human. Tai, you've done every evil deed possible. Too much, Yin Huang's Tai. Following Nick's damn, all sorts of messages exploded in the world channel, listing 7 shattered divinities at once. Tai, did you dig up some kind of divine graveyard? How many stars extraordinary are you now? Or have you already advanced to demigod? Li Chunyang. Tai, you're not normal. Are you cheating? Morong Futian. 7 shattered divinities. Yin Huang's Tai, you're not just trying to show off your battle record in the world channel, are you? There are still 6 rounds until the day of the red moon. Are you trying to use this method to strike at the confidence of us Western survivors? Dark Angel, I've indeed been shocked by you once again, but I absolutely won't concede. Before the day of the red moon arrives, I'll take first place in survival points. I want the complete divinity reward. Blood Angel, I can't wait for the day of the red moon, for the top 10 domains to be exposed. The top 10 should have my name, My domain. The glory of the Ing Islands is guarded by us of the Gojo family. Gojo-san. I gave no response whatsoever, only silently delisting the 7 shattered divinities as Tai. In an instant, the world channel was filled with curses. I paid this no mind, because a familiar voice sounded in my mind. Ding. Your false identity Tai has obtained enormous fame. The artifact Deceiver's mask effect activates. Your cultivation has risen to 10-star extraordinary demigod. Whoosh. A flash of radiance across my body, a mark surfacing between my brows, and I involuntarily closed my eyes. In an instant, the celestial eye was activated, sweeping over the gray fog outside the domain. A strange scene appeared. This single glance seemed to span endless regions, seeing an extremely magnificent divine hall. Ignoring the hall's barrier, it reached straight to the depths. It saw the creature seated upon the divine throne. Which one was this? Could it be the Lord of the Forbidden World? The Lord of the Forbidden World is an Easterner? This fellow's robe looked so gorgeous. The other party opened his eyes. Can he see me? Wait, the other party frowned, puzzled. He seems unable to see through my domain's mysterious protection. Thoughts flashed rapidly through my mind. Swish, swish, swish. At this moment, Sis Immortal Sword, Sis Angel, Sis Turkey, Sis Moon, Maiden Sword, and the others instinctively swept their gazes over. Originally, my advancing to demigod wouldn't have moved them much, but when they saw that mark between my brows, the several elder sisters and maiden swords' expressions instantly changed dramatically. Swish! The demigod Goliath, who was assaulting the fog outside the domain, turned around at this moment, and when she saw that mark between my brows, her whole body trembled uncontrollably. Above the mysterious yellow, above creation, above the heavens, she, this white queen of the ancient magic empire, at this moment actually recited some strange things in the Yinhuang tongue. Whoosh! The mark between my brows vanished, and I opened my eyes. The several elder sisters in the domain, Maiden Sword, and the demigod which Goliath instantly averted their gazes. Goliath continued assaulting the gray fog, as if nothing had just happened. Divine Judgment. Thunderstorm. From within the gray fog came Ariel's and Goliath's voices. The two simultaneously released forbidden spells. Another round of forbidden spell field clearing. Ding. Ariel has slain the fallen Thunder Wolf and purified the Death Cursor's Valley. Goliath has destroyed the Old Hag's lair, slain the mutant Ghost King Void Leaf, and captured the Ghost City of Fallen Sun. The Lord of the Underworlds will attempted to forcibly descend. The descent failed. Gained the 8-star legendary item Spear of the Fallen, the forbidden spell Magic Tome Dark Banishment, the Old Hag's secret treasure hoard, and a Hota banner. Whoosh! The fog within 20 li outside the domain, except for a football field-sized region due west, had all been incorporated into the domain. The domain's range was a 70-li radius. The Hota banner. I swept over the spoils with some curiosity. Western items like the Spear of the Fallen and the forbidden spell Magic Tome held little interest for me. I basically glanced over them, my gaze landing on the Hota banner. Come, Celestial Eye, activate. Hota banner. Supreme divine artifact of the Nether Realm, personally refined by the Hota goddess, 12 in total, can arrange the 12 capital Heavenly Fiend Great Formation. This thing can arrange the 12 capital Heavenly Fiend Great Formation from the primordial myths? Strange. How could a treasure of this level be placed in that ghost city called Fallen Sun? Could it be the Lord of the Underworld believed no one would dare go assault the Fallen Sun ghost city? Divine Judgment. At this moment, Ariel released a forbidden spell once more, assaulting the last patch of fog within the 70-li radius. Whoosh! From within the fog, a streak of saber light cut down and destroyed her forbidden spell. The little angel Ariel was startled. The demigod which Goliath raised her brow. Oh, my interest was piqued. The temple's power of reincarnation covered a 70-li radius. As long as they were within this range, the creatures under my command could revive infinitely without loss. No need to worry at all about Ariel's safety. Assaulting the gray fog before had basically been a rout all the way, but today, something Ariel couldn't handle had finally spawned. So what was the fellow inside this football field-sized gray fog? Here it comes. Something walked out from within that gray fog. The demigod which Goliath's exquisite, flawless face couldn't help sinking. A terracotta warrior? A terracotta warrior? That bold, huh? Come, Celestial Eye, open. Let's see what background it has. Terracotta warrior, immortal Qin figure, 11-star, true god, creature. No wonder. so it's true god level. With a sweep of the celestial eye, I saw a few things, but it wasn't much of a problem. As long as I lured the terracotta warrior into the willow god's invincible domain, even a true god could be slaughtered. A terracotta warrior. True god level. Looks like he too has long since deduced a few things. But his identity is special, and he's stationed in that place, so he definitely won't come. Sis Immortal Sword swept a glance at the terracotta warrior, with a smile that wasn't quite a smile. Oh, the figure Sis Immortal Sword mentioned. Could it be the first emperor of Qin? The immortal Qin first emperor? I instinctively pondered. The terracotta warrior makes me feel very uncomfortable. In front of the temple, Sis Turkey glanced at the terracotta warrior and raised her brow. I don't like terracotta warriors. Sis Angel came right out with it. The terracotta warrior is really a bit scary, Sis Moon said with some feeling. He's coming. Maiden Sword knit her brow. The several elder sisters' expressions I silently took in, and I couldn't help being somewhat astonished. These several elder sisters, even Sis Moon of the lowest realm, whose identity was nonetheless the grand In Moon goddess Changxi, 1,000-world sovereign level. By rights they shouldn't fear this true god-level terracotta warrior, nor fear the first emperor, so why did they all seem somewhat wary? Haha, I've obtained a piece of the latest intel from our Murong family's ancestral land. The information it contains is extremely terrifying. Guess what it is? Is Tai here? If you want to know, trade me one shattered divinity. I'll give you a hint. This intel is related to the terracotta warriors. Murong Futian suddenly drifted past. Huh, terracotta warriors. Terracotta warriors are things from the Great Qin Empire in history, the first emperor's figurines. Do they have anything special about them in the Forbidden World? A flurry of discussion instantly. Haha, Tai, if you bring one shattered divinity to trade for this intel, you absolutely won't lose out. Come, cooperate with me, cooperate with our Murong family, and your future will be limitless. Murong Futian drifted past again. Intel about the terracotta warriors? Nothing more than. If you encounter terracotta warriors in the Forbidden World, don't provoke them. The weakest terracotta warriors here are also demigod level. The Forbidden World has an eerie immortal Qin, with a first emperor who is one of the most mysterious eternal sovereigns. Meng Yao drifted past. Holy crap, eerie immortal Qin? The first emperor is an eternal sovereign, and one of the most mysterious? Damn, the first emperor is that fierce. Haha, my idol is exactly the first emperor of Qin. I have a premonition he'll definitely come to my domain and grant me a fortuitous opportunity. If you started with a first emperor terracotta warrior figurine, wouldn't you be invincible? The world channel instantly blew up. Meng Yao, you've gone too far, ugh. Such good intel, and you don't keep it to make money, sharing it directly. Are you sick? After quite a while, Murong Futian started cursing in the world channel, only to be ignored. Not just ignored by Meng Yao, but ignored by me from start to finish. Immortal Qin, the first emperor, the most mysterious, eternal sovereign. I murmured inwardly. Thud. That true god-level terracotta warrior who'd walked out from the gray fog suddenly knelt to the ground. One sword immortal kneel. Sis Moon suddenly cried out. Rumble. My domain suddenly quaked, and a figure appeared before the kneeling terracotta warrior. Flowing long hair, a luxurious long robe, a tall and slender figure. This was a man of extremely handsome appearance, noble beyond words. The instant this man appeared, Sis Immortal Sword, Sis Turkey, Sis Angel, Sis Moon, and Maiden Sword's expressions visibly changed. Even Sis Clay Figurine, seated with eyes closed within the temple, opened her eyes at this moment, both pupils fixed upon the tall, slender man before the kneeling terracotta warrior. The demigod which Goliath opened her mouth, wanting to cry out something, but seemingly unable to call out his title at all. The little angel Ariel shuddered and shum, flew behind me, while the rest of the baby angels all flew back to the church too. Humph. Meng Yao, so you won't reply, huh? In that case, I, Murong Futian, will be a good person. In a word, never provoke the terracotta warriors of the Forbidden World. If one day a man of incomparable handsomeness and incomparable nobility appears in your domain, don't overthink it. Just kneel down and pay homage and worship. Murong Futian drifted past once again. You are very pretty. Ignoring Murong Futian's message and not feeling this man before me was all that terrifying. A single line blurted straight out of my mouth. Pretty. Had anyone else appraised my appearance with that word, they'd long since have died without a whole corpse. You're rather different. You're strange, not ordinarily strange. It's as if I see another me in you. The tall, slender man looked toward me. How should I address you? I asked casually. Just call me Brother Zheng. The tall, slender man gave a faint smile. Brother Zheng? Which version of Brother Zheng? I was a bit curious. Right, one more thing. Before, when assaulting the gray fog and killing the chess pieces laid down by those powerful creatures, such as the abyssal ancient god Amon, the lord of gray fog, the death god, the lord of the underworld, and so on, their wills had all failed to descend, yet this handsome, noble Brother Zheng before me could descend upon my domain. How was this Brother Zheng so fierce? Meng Yao said the lord of the eerie immortal Qin was one of the most mysterious eternal sovereigns of the forbidden world. Could he be stronger than the legendary sages? How should I address you, brother? Brother Zheng smiled once more. Just call me Su Yuan. I smiled slightly. Su Yuan. At first glance of Brother Su Yuan, it was as if I saw another self. At second glance, I dazedly thought I saw that mortal enemy of mine. At third glance, I thought again that I'd seen the master of the purple Empyrean Palace. This forbidden world. I'd originally thought the master of the Divine Hall was the strangest person, that no one could be stranger than him. It was I whose scope was too small. Brother Zheng said. The moment these words came out, the several elder sisters, Maiden Sword, and the demigod which Goliath in the domain all wore thoughtful looks, each thinking of something. Were it not for my true body suppressing that thing, I'd even want to transform into a card and come to Brother Su Yuan's place to retire in comfort. Seeing Brother Su Yuan today, Brother Zheng's mood is good, so I'll give a small gift as a first meeting present. Brother Zheng raised his hand, a copper coin surfacing and flying before me. A copper coin? A bit familiar? Wait, isn't this exactly the loot from wiping out the Seven Gods World Instance dungeon earlier? Completely identical. When I'd swept it with the Celestial Eye back then, no additional info had shown up. This can even be given away? Amid my thoughts, Sis Immortal Sword couldn't help opening her mouth, her eyes full of astonishment. A grand gesture. Sis Turkey was stunned for a moment, then said with feeling, Brother Su Yuan, until fate brings us together again. Brother Zheng gave a faint smile, and as his voice fell, he and the terracotta warrior vanished directly. The region the terracotta warrior had occupied before, the gray fog, all dispersed, becoming part of my domain. Ding. Your domain's range has expanded to a 70-*Li* radius. You've gained 50,000 survival points. Current total, 155,000. This round I drew a pirate world and took quite a few points. My current personal points have broken 13,000. I assaulted part of the gray fog, expanding my domain to a 5-*Li* radius, and also obtained some clues to the ancient magic empire's treasure. Yinhuang's Tai, how many points do you currently have, and how big is your domain? Dark Angel suddenly spoke up. 150,000, 70 li. I smiled and replied with two figures as Tai. The world channel instantly froze. After quite a while, Dark Angel finally responded. 150,000 points? A domain of 70-*Li* radius? My domain isn't even a 1-*Li* radius. Yinhuang's Tai, are you just making up random figures, damn it? This super soldier's points barely broke 1,000 by now. Not even a fraction of yours. Damn it. Is this lord only able to bully the weak chicken Su Yuan? Su Yuan. Su Yuan should be the weakest one among the Yinhuang survivors, right? Tai is the strongest one. Speaking of which, is Su Yuan still alive? Tai, are you short a little brother? No. Tai, are you short a dog? All sorts of familiar faces in the world channel drifted past rapidly. Ding. Using the false identity Tai, you've triggered a stir in the world channel. The artifact Deceiver's mask effect activates. Your cultivation has risen. The familiar prompt sounded in my mind again. That man's copper coin he gave you is worth more than Dongwang Tai's Chaos Bell, worth more than the purple Empyrean Palace Master's Creation Jade Tablet, and worth more than me, too. At this moment, Sis Immortal Sword stared at me and suddenly came out with this. Oh, the copper coin Brother Zheng gave has such a great background? I spread open my palm, examining the floating copper coin, trying to see more with the celestial eye. Only there was no change at all. Rumble. Without any warning, the forbidden world quaked, and an announcement drifted past in the world channel. Ding. The Void Realm has opened. All survivors may enter to explore. The Void Realm differs from world cards. Characters and buildings in world cards cannot be brought back to the domain, but characters and buildings in the Void Realm can be brought back to the domain. In the Void Realm, you may encounter other survivors ahead of time, and death in the Void Realm will incur a death penalty. The Void Realm. A death penalty. What kind of penalty? Afraid of a hammer. It's just a death penalty, not actual death. Treat the Forbidden World as a virtual reality competitive online game. World cards are separate small instance dungeons, and the Void Realm is a big instance dungeon everyone can explore. Before the top 10 domains are exposed, everyone can just spar a bit in the Void Realm. Tai, I want to challenge you to a duel in the Void Realm. I just ask, are you afraid? The World channel was all discussion. Whoosh, a teleportation gate appeared in my domain. Swish, the several elder sisters swept over the gate and quickly averted their gazes, seemingly aware of the Void Realm's existence, only uninterested. Queen, Little Angel, and Goliath, come with me to explore the Void Realm a bit. I spoke. Shum, Queen Medusa flew out from the temple. I'll go take a look with you too. Sis Angel also flew out from the temple. That works. I nodded. The party of 5 stepped into the teleportation array. Whoosh, at a glance it was all gray fog. For that instant, I even thought I'd arrived at a new forbidden world. Roar, Jia. Give me back my life. Give me back my life. All sorts of eerie low growls within the gray fog. Divine judgment. The little angel Ariel flew forward and let loose a forbidden spell the moment she opened her mouth. The gray fog was instantly swept clean. Ding. You've gained 10,000 Void Realm copper coins, which can be exchanged for various items before leaving the Void Realm. Almost simultaneously, the scene shifted, transforming into a battlefield. Roar. Densely packed orcs pounced like a beast tide. Kill. For the tribe. The little angel Ariel slightly knit her brow, casually snapped her fingers, and the pouncing orc legion was instantly reduced to ash. Whoosh. The scene shifted once more. This time I sensed something. The scene shift looked like a stage transition. It seemed Ariel and I were standing in place without moving, but in reality, it was an imperceptible teleportation array, teleporting us across terrain again and again. A very marvelous method of teleportation. I casually commented. Ah, the demigod which Goliath was startled. Teleportation? What did husband sense? Queen Medusa wore a puzzled look, and the little angel Ariel also glanced at me in puzzlement. Only Sis Angel felt some silent emotion inwardly. With her tear, she could naturally see clearly the essence of the Void Realm's teleportation, and she understood even better that only eternal sovereigns could see through this kind of essence. Su Yuan was too strange, not even a true god, yet already able to see through the Void Realm's essence. Just whose reincarnation was Su Yuan. That mark that had appeared between his brows that day was also very strange. Some fallen eternal sovereign? But the several who'd fallen didn't match up with Su Yuan at all. Or was it that Su Yuan was someone's alt account? Divine. A new scene appeared, and the little angel Ariel instinctively released a forbidden spell, only for her voice to cease abruptly after just 2 syllables. I swept my gaze over, only to see rows upon rows of white-boned skeletons ahead. No more, no less. Exactly 3,000 in number, all draped in Kasaya robes. 3,000 Buddha bones. What place is this? Husband, this place isn't right. Any one of the 3,000 Buddha bones was, in life, stronger than an upper-rank legendary creature. Queen Medusa lowered her voice. There's a nameless temple. The demigod which Goliath murmured. As a demigod, she too felt an indescribable eeriness. Haha, I ran into the Yinhuang survivor Zhang San. He was scared right off by this super soldier. This lord monopolizes the first stage's reward, having gained 500 Void Realm copper coins. Nick, I ran into Miss Mengyao. She actually had furry monkeys beside her. Li Chunyang, I've currently gained 3,000 Void Realm copper coins. Su Yuan, which region are you in? I want to see you. I can protect you, Alice. Su Yuan? Humph, if I run into him, I'll definitely kill trash like that 100 times over. I have 4,000 Void Realm copper coins, and I can leak a piece of intel ahead of time. 10,000 Void Realm copper coins can be exchanged for a 5-star extraordinary potion. Morong Futian. Creek. Over here, in my line of sight, the great door of the nameless temple behind the 3,000 Buddha bones suddenly opened, and a figure in red flew out from within. A female ghost. Queen Medusa instinctively opened her mouth. The little angel Ariel raised the demigod artifact Isildur's bow, and the demigod which Goliath also readied a forbidden spell. An eerie scene occurred. That red-clad figure who'd flown out from the nameless Buddhist temple actually began dancing alone before the 3,000 Buddha bones. Long sleeves fluttering, matchless in grace and beauty. Come, Celestial Eye, open. I silently activated it. Red-clad woman, non-human, mutated lost state, relatively low danger level, possible mutation. The red-clad woman? She's an eternal sovereign? She is a bit dangerous. My weakened state may not necessarily secure a complete victory over her. Sis Angel murmured. Hearing this, Queen Medusa, the little angel, and the demigod witch Goliath had a flash of astonishment in their eyes, especially Goliath, for although she was the White Queen of the ancient magic empire, a creature of the Western world, she understood quite a bit about the Eastern world. In her knowledge, the East had no formidable figure of this red-clad woman image. Yin Huang's Tai, which direction are you in? I've already gained 10,000 Void Realm currency. This exploration, I brought 4 legendary creatures. Before the top 10 domains are exposed, I want to challenge you. Dark Angel. Yin Huang's Tai, I've already passed the 3rd scene. The boss was an 8-star extraordinary black dragon. I currently have 30,000 Void Realm currency, with a demon lord following at my side. I want to challenge you to Blood Angel. Helplessly the flowers fall away. As if once acquainted, the swallows return. Teacher, have you been well? Not teacher, mistook you for someone else, but for that instant, you really did look like teacher. Over here, the red-clad woman before the 3,000 Buddha bones suddenly stopped, reciting poetry as she opened her mouth, calling me teacher, then shifting her tone with a soft sigh. Teacher? Queen Medusa, the demigod witch Goliath, and the little angel were all startled, growing ever more curious about the red-clad woman's identity. Sis Angel, how should I address you, miss? Sis Angel took the initiative to speak. Sis Angel. Sis, you go by Sis Angel, then I'll go by Sis Jinlian. The red-clad woman swept a glance at Sis Angel, wore a playful look, and responded. Huh, Jinlian? Sis Jinlian? Another of the Sis generation? Only the name Jinlian sounded a bit odd. Queen Medusa and the demigod witch Goliath exchanged a glance. Sis Jinlian. I recited softly. Actually, from the Buddha bones, the Buddhist temple, and the 2 characters Jinlian, Golden Lotus, I inferred that this red-clad woman before me was transformed from a supreme treasure of the Buddhist school in myth and legend. The Buddhist school's supreme treasure, the 12th grade Golden Lotus. Of course, this was only inference, because the 12th grade Golden Lotus turning into a woman was indeed a bit unreliable. I've cleared the 3rd scene, and the 4th scene hasn't fully taken form yet, but I can faintly see some blurry silhouettes, several women and 1 man. Is that man you, Tai? Dark Angel spoke again. A Western survivor is being teleported over. Although the Buddhist school was also called the Western school in ancient times, I don't much like Westerners. Meeting you today, having just now nearly mistaken you for my teacher. This too is a kind of fate. I'll go with you. Then, please enter the temple. The red-clad woman swept a glance behind her and made a gesture of invitation to me. A bit eerie. Sis Angel secretly transmitted her voice to me. As long as I can bring her back to the domain, it's no problem. I silently responded, walking toward the nameless temple. The moment I neared the 3,000 Buddha bones before the temple, those 3,000 Buddha bones suddenly were reduced to ash. The red-clad woman calling herself Sis Jinlian cried out in astonishment. Creak. I pushed open the great door of the nameless temple. Whoosh. Buddha light erupted at once. Holy crap, what a dazzling golden light. Dark Angel spoke once more. Meanwhile, I had already stepped into the nameless temple. Almost simultaneously, I heard a prompt. Ding. You've gained 10 million Void Realm copper coins. Current total, 10,040,000. Whoosh. At this very moment too, the resplendent Buddha light vanished, and several figures appeared behind. When I walked out from the nameless temple, I am Dark Angel. The 4th scene I've encountered is an Eastern temple. Before the temple are several women, 2 of them angels, 1 big and 1 small. There's also a red-clad woman, a witch, and a female with an Eastern face and a Western figure. I see a man walk out from the temple. Are you Yin Huang's Tai? Dark Angel spoke. Are you Yin Huang's Tai? Dark Angel stared at the Eastern man walking out from the temple, lowering his voice, while receiving soul transmissions from the several legendary creatures at his side. This stage was very dangerous. The several women before the temple, as the several legendary creatures sensed it, not one could be beaten. That witch. I know her identity. Her name is Goliath, a demigod, whose methods are extremely ruthless and savage. She's among the very few demigods who've been to Dragon Mountain and returned alive. Rumor has it she also has an extremely mysterious identity, one that made even the ancient dragon god of Dragon Mountain wary of her. Beside Dark Angel, an 8-star mid-rank legendary ascetic soul transmitted once more. A demigod level which looks like the one I've encountered is you, Tai. The several legendary creatures at my side can't beat a demigod, but as the leader of the Western survivors, I, Dark Angel, having declared before that I'd challenge you in the Void Realm, won't flinch. Today let me, Dark Angel, on behalf of all the survivors of the Western world, test your strength. Yin Huang's Tai. Dark Angel silently spoke in the World Channel. Whoosh, his right hand raised, the several legendary creatures at his side raising their hands simultaneously. A dark long spear instantly coalesced, the dark law raging violently. The abyssal spear? The forbidden spell of the abyssal ancient god Amon. The witch Goliath slightly raised her brow. Divine judgment. The little angel Ariel opened her mouth directly. Come, light forbidden spell versus abyssal forbidden spell. Whoosh, resplendent holy light annihilated the dark long spear, and Dark Angel along with the several legendary creatures at his side instantly vanished. Westerners are too arrogant. Sis Jeanlian casually commented. Sis Angel, the little angel Ariel, and the demigod witch Goliath were momentarily at a loss for words. In fact, the several of them also counted as Westerners. Ding! You've defeated Dark Angel in the Void Realm, plundering 3 legendary items, 20,000 Void Realm copper coins, the Lord of Yellow and White's diary, and 10,000 survival points. Current survival points, 165,000. So battling other lords in the Void Realm is equivalent to a kind of preemptive lord battle test? A prompt sounded in my mind. I silently swept over the 3 legendary items, listing them in the World Channel as Tai, while sweeping over the Lord of Yellow and White's diary with the Celestial Eye, finding it similar to the Lord of Grey Fog's diary I'd obtained before. There should be several more diaries. Once collected in full, perhaps something would trigger. Who won? Does this battle between Dark Angel and Tai count as the first collision between the top lord powers of East and West? Did you all not notice Tai suddenly listed 3 legendary items in the World Channel? All sorts of messages drifted past in the World Channel. I got one shot, lost 3 legendary items and 10,000 survival points, current points under 5,000, and also lost 20,000 Void Realm copper coins and 1 diary. I've been teleported back to my domain. The death penalty is dropping 2 extraordinary star levels, and the legendary creatures at my side all dropped to lower rank legendary, equivalent to a trip exploring the Void Realm where I gained nothing and instead lost quite a bit. Dark Angel. Screw me. The 3 legendary items Tai listed are yours, Dark Angel. Lose to another lord in the Void Realm, and your survival points get plundered by the other party? Damn, good thing I ran fast. Nick, Alice, and Zhang Xin spoke in succession. Still, this time I met the East's strongest lord, Tai. It counts as gaining a certain understanding of his strength, though from start to finish he never said a single word. Dark Angel spoke once more. The East's strongest lord, Tai. I've already exchanged Void Realm currency for a special building and returned to my own domain. On the day the red moon descends and the top 10 lords are exposed, I'm confident of surpassing you to become the #1 lord. Blood Angel spoke, only to be directly ignored by the other survivors. Tai is Yin Huang, yet has 2 angels at his side. From the intel Dark Angel leaked, Tai has a big and small angel, a demigod-level witch, a red-clad woman, and a stunning beauty with an Eastern face and a Western figure at his side. Everyone remember these traits. From now on, seeing this lineup, you'll know it's Tai. Tai is surrounded entirely by women. The World Channel was all discussing Tai, yet they had no idea at all that Tai was merely a false identity. Before the nameless temple in the Void Realm, an exchange interface automatically surfaced before me. Weapons, cultivation methods, elixirs, extraordinary potions, buildings, characters, special mystical treasures, everything one could want. Innate skill, golden light incantation, longevity formula, war gods illustrated records, not much point. Extraordinary potions, with shattered divinities in hand, there's no point either. Mammoth troop type building, flying dragon troop type building, bone dragon nest, titan alchemy high tower. I look down on these troop types. Characters, Gilgamesh, Jiangxia, God Lubu, God Qinxiang. How are they all men? No Jinji, Diaochan, or the 2 Qiaos? Can't the character exchange interface be refreshed? Even a Ma Shaoling would do. Emperor Bloodstone, Myriad Heavens Realm Stone, Skymending Stone, and half a Creation Stone. Half a Creation Stone costs 8 million Void Realm copper coins. Exchange. Soon, I made my selections. No other reason. These things could be offered to the nameless Taoist temple and the Willow God, and in my view, The nameless Taoist temple and the willow god were the very foundation of my domain. Whoosh! The exchange completed, a flash of radiance, and I and everyone at my side returned to the domain. Rumble! At the same time, a nameless temple appeared in the domain. Whoosh! A flash of golden light, and a plaque appeared upon the temple. Swish, 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 Sis Immortal Sword, Sis Turkey, Sis Moon, Maiden Sword, and Sis Clay figurine within the temple. All of them opened their eyes at this moment, sweeping their gazes toward the plaque. I looked over too, a trace of astonishment flashing in my eyes. The demigod which Goliath glanced at it. Her body couldn't help trembling, and she softly recited in the Yanhuang tongue. Spirit Mountain, Temple. Sis Moon's face was full of curiosity. Not the great thunderclap temple. Maiden Sword slightly knit her brow. I don't like the Buddhist school. Sis Turkey also frowned. The great thunderclap temple ceased to exist long ago, so naturally it wouldn't be that. Sis Jinlian, clad all in red, said with a soft laugh. Swish, Sis Moon, Maiden Sword, Sis Turkey, Sis Immortal Sword, and Sis Clay figurine within the temple swept their gazes towards Sis Jinlian, and after a few glances, their gazes returned to that Spirit Mountain temple. Swish! I swept over the Spirit Mountain temple with the celestial eye. Spirit Mountain temple can produce the special troop type Buddha Maiden. Currently, one Buddha Maiden can be produced per day. A Buddha Maiden and a special troop type? My gaze shifted, sweeping over the church. The church was given by Sis Angel, producing one baby angel per day. In fact, in my domain, aside from Queen Medusa, the demigod which Goliath, and the several of the Sis generation, the main troop type was the baby angels headed by Ariel. This Spirit Mountain temple could produce Buddha Maidens, counting as the domain's second troop type. So what qualities did the Buddha Maiden have? Whoosh! Amid my thoughts, a flash of golden light from the Spirit Mountain temple, and a white-clad, bald-headed woman drifted out. Buddha Maiden Miaoyin pays respects to the Venerable One. The white-clad, bald-headed woman put her palms together and performed a bow to me. Queen Medusa and the demigod which Goliath watched, stunned. Although this Buddha Maiden calling herself Miaoyin was bald-headed, without any hairstyle adornment, she still gave people a stunning impression. Her features were absolutely flawless, and it seemed precisely because she was bald, there was an added, indescribable special charm. Doesn't seem like a person of the Buddhist school. The demigod which Goliath said softly in the Yanhuang tongue. Because of a mysterious existence of the ancient magic empire, she understood Eastern mythology and the major schools extremely well, yet looking at this Buddha Maiden before her, she only felt it incomparably strange. Was this a Buddha or a demon? Haha, this super soldier's luck is decent. The exchange interface refreshed a robot barracks that can produce a 3-star extraordinary robot per day. The barracks can even be upgraded, and the ultimate troop type is the Mechanical Emperor. Yanhuang's Tai. This lord has no hope of catching up, but I can still bully the weakest Yanhuang survivor, Su Yuan. Nick. A robot barracks. I exchange for a yokai pavilion, which can produce a 3-star extraordinary yokai per day, with a 1 in 10,000 chance of producing a great yokai above 6-star. Besides, my exchange interface just refreshed a breathing technique. Guess which one I exchanged for? Gojo-san. Humph. This young master's exchange interface refreshed a coffin shop, which can produce a 4-star extraordinary zombie per day, with a certain chance of producing a corpse king above 5-star. My Wenkai and Shoshing have both advanced to 4-star extraordinary as well. Morong Futian. You'd even exchange for a coffin shop. Don't you find it unlucky? This exploration of the Void Realm, I exchanged for a Celestial Master's Mansion, which can produce a 3-star extraordinary Taoist per day. Li Chunyang. Tai, what troop type building did you exchange for in the Void Realm? Mengyao. A Buddha Maiden. I responded as Tai. At the same moment, the Celestial, I saw more of the Buddha Maiden Miaoyin's information. Miaoyin, Buddha Maiden, 9-star extraordinary, upper rank legendary, creature, can evolve. Trait 1, World Purifying Incantation, can purify demons, evil, eeriness. Trait 2, Deliverance Sutra, can deliver and enlighten living beings. Trait 3, Formless Transformation, can raise star rank and tier in a short time. Starting at 9-star extraordinary. A Buddha Maiden. What troop type is this? A nun. The Compassionate Voyage Convent? Shurfeishuan. Tai, you got Shurfeishuan. Damn, why is it a woman again? Tai, what's your deal? The characters you recruit all seem to be women. Is there really not a single man in your domain? All sorts of messages drifted past in the world channel. I didn't continue responding with the false identity, only silently offering the myriad heaven's realm stone exchanged from the void realm. Whoosh! In an instant, the nameless Taoist temple devoured the myriad heaven's realm stone, a flash of radiance. Swish! The several elder sisters in the domain, Sis Jinlian brought back from the void realm today, and the newly born Buddha, Maiden Miaoying all fixed their gazes on the temple. At a single glance, the temple was clearly more magnificent and grand than before. Rumble! Suddenly, the domain quaked, and the temple surged in size, instantly rising to 50 meters tall. For that instant, everyone in the domain even thought they saw tier upon tier of celestial gates. The several elder sisters' expressions clearly shifted somewhat. Compared to this temple, Spirit Mountain is like a firefly to the bright moon. Sis Jinlian said with feeling. Ding! A prompt sounded in my mind. Ding! Your nameless Taoist temple's power of reincarnation has risen. The effect has risen to a 100-*Li* radius. The power of reincarnation has evolved, covering the entire void realm. Ding! Your nameless Taoist temple can open the void realm once every 3 days. Another prompt. I wore a playful look. The power of reincarnation's effect was that domain characters within the covered range revived infinitely without loss. Now covering a 100-*Li* radius, I could let Queen Medusa, Ariel, and Goliath freely assault the gray fog within 100 li, with no need whatsoever to worry about safety. And that prompt just now, the nameless Taoist temple's power of reincarnation covered the entire void realm. Even though I'd only explored the void realm once so far, and the region explored should be only a tiny portion, the void realm surely had many perilous regions and powerful creatures. Yet precisely because of this power of reincarnation, in a certain sense, the void realm had already become part of my domain. Right, for other lords, who knew how long they'd have to wait before their next void realm exploration, whereas I could enter to explore every 3 days through the nameless Taoist temple. The feeling was quite marvelous. Was there a possibility, before others had even explored a few times, I'd already completely taken down the void realm? Thinking of this, I couldn't help giving a knowing smile. Ariel, Goliath, and Buddha Maiden, go assault the gray fog within 100 li of the domain. My gaze shifted, looking toward the gray fog. The little angel, the demigod witch, and the Buddha Maiden flew toward the gray fog in 3 different directions. Whoosh! Holy light, thunder, and Buddha light lit up simultaneously. Immediately after, a string of prompts sounded in my mind. Ding, ding, ding. All sorts of kills, destructions, purifications. Your domain expands. Gained a large amount of survival points, an 8-star special building blueprint, an 8-star extraordinary alchemical golem. Gained the Silver City clue, the Source Fortress clue. The Lord of Nights will attempted to descend upon your domain. The descent failed. Oh, the Lord of Night. I thought of the Lord of Gray Fog and the Lord of Yellow and White, having their diaries in hand. At the present stage there was nothing peculiar. I inferred that several needed to be collected in full before any change would occur. Did this Lord of Night also have a diary? Who's peering at my domain? Swish! I sensed something and looked toward the gray fog beyond the power of reincarnation's covered range, faintly seeing a tall figure. This was a woman. Was she the Lord of Night? Was she an eternal sovereign? She couldn't forcibly descend upon my domain, and couldn't even descend upon the gray fog shrouded by the power of reincarnation. Even if she was an eternal sovereign, she couldn't compare to Brother Zheng whose had descended before. Whoosh! At this moment, holy light, thunder rays, and Buddha light lit up again, all crashing toward the last patch of gray fog within 100 li of the domain. Roar! A furious roar came from within the gray fog, and a flame demon charged out. My name is Kemal. I am a demigod demon. My lord is the abyssal sovereign. As long as the abyss is undying, my lord does not die, and I too do not die. The flame demon roared as it opened its mouth, devouring the little angel's forbidden spell in one gulp, Goliath's thunder element forbidden spell in one gulp, and the Buddha light struck out by the Buddha Maiden in one gulp. Boom! The flame demon's aura surged violently, as if about to completely coalesce a divinity and advance from demigod to true god. The demigod which Goliath raised her brow, wanting to unleash some special means, only for the Buddha Maiden to the upper right to suddenly stride forth the instant she raised her hand, towering over the demigod demon. Boom! The Buddha Maiden stomped down with one foot, and the demigod demon exploded with a thunderous roar. Clang! Only a demon helmet remained, tumbling to the ground. not a single trace of the demigod demon's soul aura at the scene. The little angel Ariel widened her eyes. A melee mage? The demigod which Goliath opened her mouth blankly. 9-star extraordinary upper rank legendary. Stomped a demigod demon to death with 1 foot. Pure martial force stronger than the Buddhist school's spells by more than 1 tier. Queen Medusa was also somewhat dazed. I smiled. Actually, the Buddha maiden state at this moment was the formless transformation among her 3 traits, raising star rank and tier in a short time. It was just unexpected that it was this fierce, one-shotting a demigod demon right after the formless transformation. Whoosh! The last patch of gray fog within 100 li of the domain vanished, and a medieval-style walled city surfaced. At the same time, I heard a prompt. Ding! The Buddha maiden Miaoyin has slain the demigod demon Kemal. The abyssal lords will attempted to descend. The descent failed. Gain the artifact Progenitor King's Helmet, an abyssal forbidden spell magic tome. UVE captured the city of 4 kings. Gain the Progenitor King's Mausoleum clue, a large amount of survival points. Your current survival points are 200,000. Come, list the artifact Progenitor King's Helmet. List the abyssal forbidden spell magic tome. With a smile on my face, I listed the artifacts as Tai. An artifact? Are my eyes deceiving me? Progenitor King's Helmet? Which character is the Progenitor King? Tai slaughtered a god. Damn, this time is Tai showing off, or does he really intend to sell an artifact? The World Channel instantly caused an uproar. Progenitor King's Helmet. I've obtained part of the clues about the Progenitor King. The Progenitor King is a fallen Western sovereign of the Forbidden World, buried in the Progenitor King's Mausoleum. Yin Huang's Tai, could you alter the trade condition restrictions? I have in hand a cultivation secret art from your Eastern mythology. You should be interested. Blood Angel spoke. I directly ignored it. The Celestial I could see more of an artifact's information, and listing the artifacts wasn't for selling either, only to gain renown using the false identity Tai. Ding. Using the false identity Tai, you've shaken the World Channel. The artifact Deceiver's mask effect activates. Your cultivation has risen. The familiar prompt sounded, and I gave a faint smile. Come, offer them up. The Emperor Bloodstone, Sky Mending Stone, Creation Stone, all offered to the Willow God. Whoosh! In an instant, the 800-meter divine willow surged to 1,000 meters. The several elder sisters in the domain swept their gazes over, and my celestial I swept over too. This time the divine willow's invincible domain had changed. The domain had previously been twice the divine willow's own height, but this time it became 4 times directly. Height 1,000 meters, invincible domain 4,000 meters. And there was an additional new trait. Trait 1, invincible domain. Trait 2, cultivation amplification. Trait 3, void treasure fishing. Trait 4, ascension to heaven. Ascension to heaven? What did that mean? Somewhat curious, I instinctively raised my head and looked toward the sky above the domain, only to see an expanse of grayish gloom. What is ascension to heaven? After a moment's ponder, I looked toward Sis' immortal sword. Ascension to heaven. It actually means lifting all seals in a short time, restoring power to peak tier. Sis' immortal sword said with a smile. Oh, ascension to heaven means unsealing power? Then could the several elder sisters in the domain all ascend to heaven too? Ascension to heaven has a certain limitation. During that period of power unsealing, one is confined to up there. Ascension to heaven is not invincibility. Sis Jillian mentioned. Yin Huang's Tai, my survival points have officially broken 30,000. Can you feel my pace catching up to you? How many points do you have now? Blood Angel spoke again. 200,000. I responded as Tai. The World Channel instantly went without any messages. A moment later, I heard the familiar prompt again. The artifact Deceiver's mask effect activated once more, cultivation rising again. After this time, I had already sensed that my cultivation had reached the ultimate of demigod. Advancing to true god was just one divinity short. Seeing the World Channel fall silent, I swept over the domain, gave Queen Medusa 1 shattered divinity, gave the Buddha maiden 1, then gave the little angel Ariel 1. Immediately after, I drifted to below the divine willow and sat cross-legged on the ground, closing my eyes. Swish, swish, swish. The several elder sisters, including Sis clay figurines seated like a divine statue within the temple, fixed their gazes over too. Right at this moment, one of my hands pointed to the sky, the other to the earth. Sis Jillian's eyes instantly lit up. World-honored one. The Buddha maiden Miaoyin bowed deeply. And in the very next moment, my hand gesture changed, and Sis Jilian's face sank. World-honored one. How did it become Tao-honored one? The Buddha maiden Miaoyin wore a face full of bewilderment, somewhat unable to comprehend. In the next moment, my hand gesture changed again. Ah! Sis Moon cried out in astonishment. She'd seen this gesture before. The master of the purple Empyrean Palace? Maiden's sword murmured. The 8th round of card drawing arrived right on time. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In the domain, 3 cards surfaced simultaneously. Turtle, turtle. This round I got a gold card. I have a premonition there's a good thing inside. Everyone guess. Gilgamesh, or Golden Behemoth, or Golden Titan. Zhang San. A gold card. I have a gold card too. My ex-boyfriend Su Yuan. Do you have a gold card this round? Alice. Does everyone have a gold card this round? Speaking of which, aside from woman cards, man cards, item cards, building cards, and world cards, are there other types of cards? Gojo-san. Of course there are. This round I got a fake card, a purple one. Do you all understand the gold content of a fake card? Ha ha ha. Morong Futian. A purple card? A fake card? What a coincidence. This round I have 3 purple cards. I smiled slightly. This round, 3 purple cards came. The Forbidden World has sovereigns like the Lord of Grey Fog, the Lord of Night, the Lord of Yellow and White. Fake cards happen to be related to these several sovereigns. Flip one open, and there's a chance of being teleported to a sovereign's divine hall to have an audience with the sovereign's true body. Once you sign a contract with a certain sovereign and become their follower, your domain's rise in speed will be extremely absurd. Take this comparison. The most trashy lord, like Su Yuan, whose domain develops at a speed equivalent to a snail's crawl. An ordinary lord like Nick is riding a bicycle. Someone like me is on an electric scooter. Someone like Dark Angel is driving a small car. Someone like Tai is driving a supercar. If you become a sovereign's follower, there's a great chance of catching up to Tai. I'm going to flip open the purple fake card. Haha. I've entered the Lord of Grey Fog's divine hall. I've seen the Lord of Grey Fog's true body. I've become the Lord of Grey Fog's follower. I've gained the sovereign's bestowal. Before the top 10 domains are exposed, I'll surpass you, Tai. Morong Futian spoke in succession. Just like that. Morong Futian has risen. Why didn't I get a purple card this round? Quite a few familiar faces spoke. I only silently swept over the 3 purple cards with the celestial eye. First card, a woman, emotionally lost, extremely low danger, possible runaway. Second card, a contract, Lord of Night's contract. Open it, and you may be teleported to the Lord of Night's divine hall. Third card, an item, special ennoblement decree, can upgrade the domain and open the age of Lord Ennoblement. Oh, emotionally low again. This round of card drawing could draw a sis. A thought flashed, and I directly drew the first purple card. Whoosh, a flash of radiance, and a black-robed woman appeared, her face utterly devoid of any will to live. This kind of no will to live, I often saw on Sis Turkey's face. Swish, the several elder sisters in the domain swept their gazes over. You seem not to be. Sis Immortal Sword slightly raised her brow. Is and isn't and is. Sis Angel laughed softly. A bit strange. Maiden Sword came out with a line. Whoosh, the black-robed woman raised her head, glanced at me, and clearly froze for a moment. Almost simultaneously, the gray fog outside the domain retreated 1,000 meters. Eternal Sovereign. This was the symbol of an eternal sovereign level item or person. So, who was this black-robed sis devoid of the will to live? I was somewhat curious. Haha, Tai, I, Morong Futian, have advanced to 5-star extraordinary, and my main combat forces under command, Qiuxing and Wenkai, have both advanced to 5-star extraordinary too. My domain has expanded to a 3-*Li* radius. And I've only been the Lord of Grey Fog's follower for a few minutes. Tai, have you felt it? That sky-toppling Azura tidal wave upon me, catching up to you. Morong Futian spoke. How should I address you, sis? I ignored Morong Futian and smiled slightly at the black-robed woman. Sis, just call me Maiden Knight. The black-robed woman froze once more, then gently shook her head, and after shaking her head, her face was again devoid of the will to live as she drifted into the nameless Taoist temple. Maiden Knight. I was thoughtful. Under the celestial eye's scan, Maiden Knight's description was similar to Sis Immortal Sword, Sis Turkey, Sis Angel, Sis Clay Figurine, and Maiden Sword, all with unknown star levels. So Maiden Knight was indeed of eternal sovereign level. Could it be that she was the Lord of Night? A thought stirred, and I raised my hand. Draw a card. Draw the second purple card. Whoosh, a flash of radiance, and a contract surfaced, directly transforming into a teleportation array, a streak of black light striking upon me. Only, nothing happened at all. Maiden Knight, who drifted into the temple, saw this scene, a flash of astonishment crossing her eyes. The contract failed? I pondered. Asterisk whoosh. Asterisk the contract shot out another streak of black light, striking upon me, yet still nothing happened at all. Swish, swish, swish. The several elder sisters in the domain all fixed their gazes on me. Strange. Within the temple, Maiden Knight muttered, raising her hand and grasping toward the contract. And at this very moment, the nameless Taoist temple flashed with a mysterious radiance, and the contract was instantly devoured by the temple. Maiden Knight's raised hand froze in midair, freezing for several seconds before lowering, glancing at Sis clay figurine, then returning to that no will to live expression. Ding. Your nameless Taoist temple has devoured the Lord of Knight's contract, extracting the Knight's origin law. You may comprehend it yourself. That works too. The nameless Taoist temple, through a single contract, directly extracted the Lord of Knight's origin law. The Lord of Knight's origin law should count as one of the 3,000 great Taoists. So from this I inferred, the nameless Taoist temple was very likely the purple Empyrean palace of the primordial myths. Come, draw the third card. Amid my thoughts, I raised my hand. Whoosh, a flash of radiance, and the third purple card transformed into a golden token. Ding. You've obtained the ennoblement decree. Use it. A thought stirred. Ding. You've used the ennoblement decree. The domain begins to upgrade. You've obtained the rank of Duke. The domain upgrades to a duchy, and you may name the domain yourself. Duke? Duchy? Name the domain? Does the rank have a special bonus? I swept over the description. Ding. A mysterious lord has opened the age of lord ennoblement. May all lords of the forbidden world explore it themselves. In the world channel, mysterious information drifted past. Whoosh. The world channel briefly stalled, and the next moment burst into an uproar. Who got ennobled? Tai, is it you? What benefits does ennoblement have? Tai, answer if you receive this. Got ennobled. Duke, Marquis, Count, Viscount, Baron, which tier are you? Different ranks have different special effects, such as the empowerment to troop types. Domains of different levels have different effects too. Tai, please answer truthfully. Murong Futian pressed with successive questions. The other lords had already defaulted to it being Tai, who'd opened the age of ennoblement. Dukta. This time, I responded with the false identity Tai. I jowl. The world channel briefly stalled, then exploded. Ding. Your false identity Tai has shocked the world channel. The artifact Deceiver's mask effect activates. Your cultivation rises to the ultimate of demigod. The familiar prompt sounded, and I gave a knowing smile, sweeping over the rank description again. After a moment's ponder, I named my own domain. The domain panel, which only I could see, changed. Lord, Su Yuan. Personal cultivation, 10-star extraordinary, demigod. Rank. Duke. Domain troop type bonus, Forbidden World Destiny bonus. You may ignore any attack means below 10-star extraordinary, and powerful creatures of the Forbidden World may proactively befriend you. Domain name, above the Tao altar. Domain area, 100-*** radius. Domain level, duchy, racial faction powers beyond the gray fog have been informed of your duchy's existence, and there's a certain chance they'll proactively ally with or submit to you. Domain character 1, Willow God. Rank equaled the Forbidden World's destiny. In my view, destiny was fortune. This point made me think of a fortune dynasty. For instance, that brother Zheng I'd met before. His destiny was surely the Forbidden World's most top tier, and the eerie immortal Qin was surely a most top tier power. Without a doubt, rank could accelerate a domain's rise. I myself am a demigod. My domain has the Willow God, has the nameless Taoist temple, has several elder sisters, and several maidens. On the surface, the rank's bonus to me isn't great, but in reality, the destiny bonus is heaven-defying. The Duke destiny can block any attack below 10-star, meaning at least a demigod is needed to slay a Duke. Can the Forbidden World's Emperor tier destiny ignore an Eternal Sovereign's attack? If so, I could find a way to get an Emperor tier rank. Every time I assault the gray fog, it's under the coverage of the nameless Taoist temple's power of reincarnation. In reality, I'm very far from invincibility. I pondered. Tai, what special effects does the Duke rank have? What changes appeared in your domain? You're a Duke. Did your domain automatically advance to a duchy? And what's it called? Morong Futian pressed again. This time I didn't respond. I looked toward the gray fog to the southwest beyond the domain. A blurry figure had appeared there. Unknown Lord, I am the elf queen of the elven forest. The supreme mystery of the forbidden world has informed me that you've established a duchy. The elven forest hopes to ally with you. The figure in the gray fog opened her mouth. I smiled. This was the special effect of the domain advancing to a duchy. I casually raised a hand, and the figure in the gray fog was teleported in. Swish! The several elder sisters and several maidens swept their gazes over, only glancing once before averting them. The elf queen froze for a moment. Me? The elf queen? A demigod possessing both beauty and wisdom? Why did it feel like being sized up like a piece of goods? Most uncomfortable of all was that those several gazes just now averted after a single glance, as if they completely looked down on me, the elf queen. Am I that lousy? You, sir, are the lord who established the mysterious duchy? The elf queen sized me up with a glance, somewhat astonished inwardly, secretly noting that this lord before her, with a face full of Eastern features, was actually a demigod too. This was quite strange. The dukes she'd seen before were at strongest only mid-rank legendary, and quite a few marquises and kingdom lords were only upper-rank legendary. The elf queen's soul shifted, and only then did she begin to earnestly, covertly observe this mysterious domain. When she swept over the 1,000-meter willow tree, her soul trembled. Goddess above, how did this willow tree feel exactly like a certain living being of legend? Wait, what was going on with that angel? What was the situation with that green-clad woman? And what was the situation with that other green-clad woman? And what was the situation with that little turkey before that Eastern Taoist temple? That noble woman clad in palace attire also seemed very strong. The elf queen's soul swept toward the interior of the nameless Taoist temple. Mama. When she saw Maiden Knight, she only felt her soul explode, blank in that moment, her whole person trembling involuntarily. How was this possible? The elf queen strove to control her soul, then swept toward Sis clay figurine seated within the temple. Mommy. She felt her soul explode once again. Holy crap! Oh heavens! Oh my god! And what was the situation with this one? How did she look exactly like a certain eternal sovereign of the Eastern world that the elf goddess had once mentioned? Goddess, save me. This domain is so terrifying, I so want to go home. This domain isn't proper at all. No, not improper. Abnormal, too eerie. It couldn't help making one associate it with that eerie immortal sheen of the forbidden world. Could this lord be connected to that terrifying emperor of the eerie immortal sheen? Wait, even the terrifying emperor of the eerie immortal sheen probably doesn't have this kind of drawing power. This queen is so panicked now, what should I do? Lord, sir. Suddenly, the elf queen gritted her teeth, and she, of demigod status, bowed deeply to me. I submit on behalf of the elf race of the elven forest. From today on, the elven forest merges into your domain, sir, becoming your subjects. Welcome aboard. I smiled slightly. Whoosh! The great expanse of gray fog to the southwest of the domain dispersed at this moment, becoming part of the domain. So the queen is allying with the mysterious lord. My heavens! In this mysterious lord's domain, what's the situation with this willow tree? Hiss! Several tall elves clad in ceremonial robes flew out from the elven forest, instinctively opening their mouths, then abruptly changing expression in alarm, each of them freezing in place. Within the elven forest, an entire elf race was dumbstruck, because their elf queen suddenly stepped forward and performed a hand-kiss ceremony to that eastern-faced man. Heaven's queen, a demigod, how could she perform a hand-kiss to a man? From today on, we, the elf race, are Duke, Sir's subjects. The elf queen loudly declared. Several elves clad in ceremonial robes, along with the whole elf race, were dumbstruck again. Hold on. What happened to the alliance we agreed on? Ding. You've subdued the elf race. The elven forest merges into your domain. The domain area expands by 20 li, and your mysterious lord prestige rises. I heard the prompt. I swept over the elf group, discovering that the entire elf race was all female, which was somewhat unexpected, yet it also suited my wishes. With the elf race's submission, not only did I gain one demigod elf queen, but also several legendary elves. Of course, the ordinary elves weren't weak either, just not counting as high in combat power. Ding. You can open the Void Realm through the nameless Taoist temple. At this point, a prompt sounded. Oh, my gaze shifted, looking toward the nameless Taoist temple, and I casually raised a hand. Whoosh, a teleportation gate appeared before me. The Void Realm. Sis Immortal Sword swept over in puzzlement. Sis Jinlian also wore a puzzled look. Within the temple, Sis Angel, Sis Clay Figurine, Maiden Sword, and Maiden Knight all opened their eyes and swept over, astonishment flashing in their eyes. You can open the Void Realm yourself? Sis Turkey before the temple hesitated for a moment before asking. Which sis or which maiden is willing to accompany me to explore the Void Realm a bit? I smiled. I'm willing. The Elf Queen responded directly. The Void Realm is a bit strange. This time I'll accompany you on a trip. Sis Turkey flew over with a swoosh, landing on my shoulder. I strode forth, stepping into the teleportation gate, and the Elf Queen hurriedly followed. The whole elf race instinctively blinked, still quite dumbstruck. Baron. I've become a baron. Haha, my domain has expanded again. Currently a 5-**Li* radius. Survival points breaking 8,000. Moron Futian. I've also obtained the rank of baron. Domain in 8-**Li* radius. Survival points 15,000. If not for being one-shot by Tai in the Void Realm and losing 10,000 points, my points should already be 25,000. Dark Angel. I've obtained the rank of Viscount. Domain at 10-**Li* radius. Survival points 39,000. Blood Angel. Viscount. Is Blood Angel currently the strongest lord aside from Tai? Quite a few familiar faces drifted past. Viscount rank. Domain at 20-**Li* radius. Survival points 50,000. At this point someone spoke, by the name of Yi Hao. Yi Hao. A new face. Yin Huang. A hidden big shot? Speaking in the World Channel for the first time? Aside from Tai, Yin Huang actually has an expert of this level? Yi Hao's first utterance sparked a round of discussion. Yi Hao. The second Void Realm exploration. I hope to meet you. I want to test your gold content. Blood Angel. The Void Realm. When does the second Void Realm exploration open? If only the Void Realm could be opened anytime, it'd be equivalent to possessing a vast resource world, going in to plunder resources anytime. Alas, unfortunately, this kind of public world dungeon can't possibly let us open it at will. A round of discussion. Meanwhile, in the mysterious Void Realm, I, Sis Turkey, and the Elf Queen were teleported before a waterfall. Water Curtain Cave? Sis Turkey on my shoulder slightly raised her brow. With the divine phoenix descending, this sun must still come out to receive her. A laughing voice came from within the flying cascade. A monkey clad in a long robe darted out. Oh, a monkey? Surnamed Sun? Was this the handsome Monkey King? Is this monkey for sale? I instinctively opened my mouth. This monkey's not for sale. The monkey clad in a long robe swept me a glance, gave a soft laugh, and casually dug into his ear, pulling out a fine needle. Whoosh! With a flick of his arm, the fine needle transformed into a sky-piercing giant staff. The demigod elf queen's body trembled. In this moment, she recalled an Eastern story the elf goddess had told, and understood this monkey's identity. This staff shall reduce him to ash. Boom! The monkey smashed the staff toward the Void Realm's gray fog sky vault. Rumble! The Void Realm shook. Only a great roar was heard as an object crashed down from the sky, and the Void Realm quaked again. Holy crap! The Forbidden World is shaking, which Big Shot has revived, is an eternal sovereign on the move. Tongtian Sect Master, Supreme Lord Lao, Primordial Heavenly Sovereign, come stroll through my domain. Bestow a fortuitous chance upon me. Messages flooded the World Channel. So the Void Realm also affects the Forbidden World. Today's arrival is a guest, and this sun counts as having an affinity with you, sir. I've knocked a dragon palace down from the sky. If you can open it, sir, the dragon palace is yours. By the way, this dragon palace can give birth to dragon maidens. The monkey withdrew his staff, swept over the object crashed down from the sky, then smiled at me. A dragon palace from the sky. Dragon maidens. Sis Turkey on my shoulder raised her brow, sweeping the monkey a glance, fixing her gaze on this crystal palace before us. The elf queen stood silently to one side, not daring to say anything, shaken to the extreme inwardly. Regarding the Void Realm, she'd once heard the elf goddess mention, the Void Realm was an extremely special space. Called the Void Realm, yet not illusory, with countless intricate ties to the Forbidden World's main plane. The elf goddess had said the Void Realm had a notion of the sky, and the sky held all kinds of marvelous things, and the only figures able to take things from the sky were eternal sovereigns. But this monkey shouldn't be that strong. In the story the elf goddess told, this monkey wasn't even at the 1,000 world sovereign tier. In the short span of a few hundred years, Has this monkey advanced to eternal sovereign? Let me give it a try. I nodded, sizing up the crystal palace, actually observing with the celestial eye. Sky Dragon Palace. Special building. May attempt blood drop recognition of master. Blood drop recognition of master? I stepped forward, walking before the crystal palace, raising my right hand, just about to drip blood. Whoosh! Who'd have thought? The crystal palace flashed with radiance and actually opened by itself. I was slightly stunned. Huh. The monkey blinked. Sis Turkey on my shoulder was also dumbstruck. The elf queen to one side was somewhat unable to comprehend. Duke, Sir casually raised a hand and opened this mysterious Eastern Dragon Palace? Isn't Duke, Sir, a bit too strong? I so want to have a half-blood elf baby with Duke, Sir. Yeah. What is this queen even thinking? Sir, do you carry the bloodline of the true dragon race? The monkey blinked again. Coincidence, coincidence. I smilingly shook my head, stepping into the crystal palace, radiance flashing once more. Ding. You've obtained the special building Sky Dragon Palace. You may bring it back to the Forbidden World. Strange, this dragon palace I knocked down. By rights, it'd take at least 1,000 world sovereign to have a chance of opening it. Yet this brother opened it with a casual raise of the hand. Didn't the ferrying Taoist say back then that the Sky Dragon Palace was worth more than the Great Thunderclap Temple? Outside the Dragon Palace, the monkey muttered a while, looking inside, his pair of pupils directly transforming into golden pupils, sweeping over me once more. The monkey's pair of golden pupils abruptly widened. Holy crap. This brother. My turtle. This brother actually bore the Deluo physiognomy the ferrying Taoist had mentioned. Whose reincarnation is this brother? Isn't he a survivor of the Forbidden World? Even my fiery golden eyes can't discern his origin at all. Wait, there's another problem. I overlooked something just now. The Void Realm passage wasn't opened at all. So how did this brother come to the Void Realm? So, does that mean I can send off that hot potato thing? Many thanks for the Dragon Palace, Brother Monkey. I came out of the Dragon Palace. You're too polite. Brother, taking down the Dragon Palace was your own ability. Meeting you today, brother, I feel ever more that I have an affinity with you. This copper coin, I gift to you, brother. The monkey smiled, beckoned casually, and personally sent a copper coin into my hand. A copper coin? You'd even bear to gift it? Sis Turkey on my shoulder was startled. A copper coin. Puzzlement flashed across the elf queen's flawless face. Abruptly, her body trembled, her face full of disbelief. This copper coin. Could it be the terrifying thing the elf goddess had once mentioned? Hiss! The elf queen's soul trembled. She remembered clearly. The elf goddess had mentioned a kind of copper coin of the Eastern world, extremely ancient, extremely mysterious, before which the Serpent of Fate's fake gold coins were mere trash. The elf goddess had said that eternal sovereigns had fallen because of that kind of copper coin. Wealth is an external thing. The Void Realms will want to teleport you, brother. As expected, this time you opened the Void Realm passage yourself, brother. The monkey smiled, and as he spoke, slightly raised his brow, only for radiance to flash, enveloping me, teleporting me away in an instant. Whoosh! Teleported along with me was the Dragon Palace too. This region was instantly left with only the monkey alone. A long while later, the monkey gave a soft sigh. The copper coin is incomparably precious, yet the copper coin is a hot potato. Even a saint like ferrying fell because of the copper coin. How could I, a wild monkey, hold it steady? A bit strange. I seem to have sensed ferrying's aura from this brother. Whoosh! I returned to the domain, and a dragon palace descended out of thin air. Dragon Palace, special troop-type building, can produce 1 dragon maiden per day. I swept over it at a glance, unable to help thinking of the Spirit Mountain Temple I'd brought back from the Void Realm last time. The Spirit Mountain Temple produced 1 Buddha maiden per day. I swept over the Spirit Mountain Temple, then swept toward the church. Currently in the domain, aside from the elf race that had proactively submitted, there were mainly 3 troop types. First, the baby angels, headed by Ariel. Second, the Buddha maidens, headed by Meowing. Third, without a doubt, the dragon maidens. The baby angels and Buddha maidens had a minimum star level of 7-star, legendary troop types from the start. So what about the dragon maidens? Whoosh! Amid my curiosity, the dragon palace flashed with radiance. The dragon palace opened automatically, and a white-clad figure drifted out. Swish, swish, swish. The elf queen and the other elves swept over, each of them widening their eyes. A demigod. The elf queen cried out in astonishment. Yin Huang's Tai, my Viscount rank has drawn in a demigod of the Forbidden World. and I'm negotiating conditions with him. I'm confident of recruiting him. Before the red moon descends and the top 10 domains are exposed, I'll definitely catch up to you and surpass you. Remember my domain name. It's called Blood Fury Heaven. Blood Angel suddenly spoke. Blood Fury Heaven. My domain is called Phantom Realm. Dark Angel. My domain is called Futian Holy Land. Morong Futian. I've studied the Golden Light incantation. Mine's called Little Dragon Tiger Mountain. Li Chunyang. Mine's called Luailong. My ex-boyfriend Su Yuan. What's your domain called? Alice. Mine's called Dinosaur Realm. Last round I drew a dinosaur egg, and it's already successfully hatched a horned dragon. Zhang-san. Remember my domain name. Mine's called Takamagara. Gojo-san. Humph. This super soldier's domain is called Cybertron. Nick. One after another, quite a few more survivors reported their domain names. I gave a faint smile, not responding, only silently sizing up the first dragon maiden born. Qigong. Dragon maiden. 10-star extraordinary. Demigod. Creature. Cold disposition. Trait 1. Summon wind and rain. Trait 2. Atavism. Trait 3. Ascension to heaven. Somewhat interesting. A dragon maiden was a demigod creature the moment she was born. Right. The dragon maiden actually came with an ascension to heaven trait. Mind you, even the willow god had only recently gained an ascension to heaven trait. Ascension to heaven was power unsealing. Could this dragon maiden named Qigong have some other identity? Ancestor, what are your instructions? At this point, the dragon maiden named Qigong finally spoke up on her own, calling me ancestor. Nothing for the moment. Go back to the dragon palace first. I said with a smile. Yes. The dragon maiden Qigong slightly lowered her exquisite head, replied a line, and flew back to the dragon palace. Duke, sir, congratulations, Duke, sir, on gaining another demigod under your command. The elf queen came to her senses at this point. From now on, one more demigod will be gained every day. I smiled slightly. Ah. The elf queen widened her eyes, froze for a moment, then had a sudden realization, her soul trembling involuntarily. As expected, the things in the Void Realm sky were all extremely marvelous. This dragon palace was a thing from the sky, able to help Duke, sir, recruit a demigod every day. Terrifying. The Eastern world's creations are too powerful. Yin Wang's Tai, I've successfully recruited a demigod. His name is Thor, not the thunder god, but an alchemy master from the alchemy city. Master Thor helped me forge a genie troop-type building, which can produce a 6-star extraordinary genie per day. He'll also forge a titan building for me. Titans can advance to 10-star demigod troops. Blood Angel spoke again. To this, I only gave a faint smile. Wait until your domain has a titan building and recruits a titan, Blood Angel. Guess how many angels, how many Buddha maidens, how many dragon maidens my domain has. Ariel, my wife Queen Medusa, and the demigod witch Goliath are absorbing shattered divinities. So for the moment, I can't raise the willow god and the nameless Taoist temple's power of reincarnation. In that case, I'll go wait beneath the willow god tree for the next round of card drawing to arrive. Sweeping over the several sisses and several maidens in the domain, a thought flashed, and I drifted to below the divine willow tree. Here it comes. The moment the time arrived, the 9th round of card drawings, 3 cards directly appeared in the domain. Swish, Sis Immortal Sword, Sis Angel, Sis Turkey, Sis Clay Figurine, Maiden Sword, Maiden Knight, and Sis Moon, originally all with eyes closed. All opened their eyes at this moment, fixing their gazes on the third of this round's 3 cards. I swept toward the third card. A bit strange, this round had 2 white cards, and the third card was a color that hadn't appeared before. The third card, it was a black card. First card, a world, Shushan world, a certain chance of producing the purple-green twin swords. Second card, an item, survival supplies. Third card, a sequence forbidden card, a forbidden object, extremely dangerous. Please draw cards with caution. Oh, the 3 cards were respectively a world card, an item card, and a sequence forbidden card? A sequence forbidden card? This was the first time I'd seen this kind of description. Haha, this round I drew Uncle Nine. Although Uncle Nine isn't all that strong in the forbidden world, Uncle Nine, Wenkai, and Xiaoxing are a character combo. Do you all understand the special bonus of a card combo? At this point, Morong Futian drifted past. Uncle Nine? Morong Futian drew Uncle Nine? A card combo has a special bonus? The 5 Tiger Generals? The Sleeping Dragon and Fledgling Phoenix? The 10 Great Emperors? An Angel card set? A Demon card set? A Pantheon card set? A Saint card set? I slightly knit my brow. With the Uncle 9 trio, my strength will rapidly rise, and coupled with the Murong family's intelligence system, before the top 10 domains are exposed, I too am qualified to vie with you, Tai. Wait a moment. What's going on? Crap. Uncle 9 ran off with Wen Kai and Xiaoxing. Screw me. Where's my Uncle 9 trio? Damn, where are the people? Where are the people? Murong Futian spoke again. Ha! Is young Master Murong being a comedian? The Uncle 9 trio ran off. Clearly a character like Uncle 9 places great importance on character. Your character's no good, young Master Murong. So Uncle 9 ran off. Congratulations, young Master Murong. Felicitations on your joy turning to sorrow. Quite a few familiar faces spoke in the World Channel. I gently shook my head. That the living beings of the Forbidden World could run off. No idea which fellow came up with this setting. It really was a little pleasant surprise. Come, draw the black card. I raised my hand, starting the draw, directly drawing the black card. Swoosh. The Elf Queen couldn't help drawing near me. She was somewhat panicked. A black card? Why had she never even heard of it? Even the elf goddess hadn't mentioned black cards. The several sisses and several maidens in the domain were also fixing their gazes over at this moment. Whoosh, a flash of black light transformed into an object, falling to the ground. Swish, 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 all sorts of gazes focused. A black lamp, the elf queen said gingerly. This thing, drawn from a black card, a black card. Divine halls aren't qualified to print black cards. Black cards and copper coins are things of the same era. Sis Immortal Sword pondered aloud. I'm reminded of some eerie, dreadful stories I've heard. Sis Angel murmured. This black lamp is so cold. Grandine lunar radiance is nothing before it. Sis Moon frowned. I feel suppressed by this thing. Sis Jinlian also slightly frowned. As expected, Eternal Sovereign isn't the end point. Sis Turkey said with feeling. Within the nameless Taoist temple, those Sis Clay figurine. Within the nameless Taoist temple, those Sis Clay figurine and Maiden Knight said nothing. Both knit their brows tightly, fixing their gazes on the black lamp. Eternal Sovereign isn't the end point. Then what is the end point? Lady Elf Goddess spent her whole life pursuing advancement to Sovereign, and hasn't succeeded even now. The Elf Queen murmured. Black lamp, forbidden object, inauspicious? I swept over the black lamp with the celestial eye, seeing question marks appear in a description for the first time. There was a problem. All the sisses were shaken because of the black lamp. The black lamp was surely also an Eternal Sovereign level item. So why didn't the gray fog outside the domain retreat 1,000 meters? Or was it that it had to be an Eternal Sovereign level being capable of taking human form to trigger the gray fog retreat phenomenon? Rumble. Amid my ponder, the black lamp suddenly swayed. Clatter. A ghastly white hand drilled out from within the black lamp. This. The living beings in the domain froze. Hiss. When that ghastly white hand lifted the black lamp, the Elf Queen, the whole elf group, the whole group of baby angels within the church, and the whole group of Buddha maidens within the Spirit Mountain Temple all instantly went ghastly pale, and even Sis Moon couldn't help her body trembling. Whoosh. The ghastly white hand, holding the black lamp, suddenly gave a flick towards Sis Immortal Sword. Sis Immortal Sword raised her brow, yet, uncontrollably, was drawn into the black lamp in one go. This. Several sisses and several maidens' faces sank. The ever-composed Maiden Knight suddenly transformed her whole person into a mass of black mist. It seemed this was her true body. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The ghastly white hand, holding the black lamp, gave it a bout of shaking. Screw you. Deluo's sword technique. This old lady's single sword rules the eternities alone. Sis Immortal Sword's voice came from within the black lamp. Ruling the eternities alone. Hearing these 4 words, the Elf Queen couldn't help shuddering. This super soldier drew a Decepticon this round. This throne is about to rise. My domain being called Cybertron really is too fitting. Nick. From today on, the great Yukai Shuten Doji joins the fray. Gojo-san. A Decepticon, the great Yukai Shuten Doji. Have you all heard of the Mage Merlin? Dark Angel. Whoosh. In my domain, the ghastly white hand holding the black lamp gave another shake. Radiance flashed, and Sis Immortal Sword flew out. Swish, swish, swish. The whole group of living beings in the domain fixed their gazes on Sis Immortal Sword. She steadied herself, tidied her hair, and called out toward the ghastly white hand. Sis Lampbearer. Sis Lampbearer? Sis Immortal Sword actually called the ghastly white hand Sis Lampbearer? The many figures in the domain were somewhat dumbstruck, and I too was slightly stunned. Still, the title Sis Lampbearer fit the image of the eerie hand and the eerie black lamp rather well. Sis lamp bearer, star level unknown? I swept over with the celestial eye, seeing a question mark form description for the second time. So the question arose. Even Sis Immortal Sword had to call out Sis Lamp Bearer. Which power tier was Sis Lamp Bearer? Could it be she was even above Eternal Sovereign? Whoosh. Amid my ponder, the ghastly white hand holding the black lamp suddenly aimed at Sis Turkey. Before Sis Turkey could react, she was drawn into the black lamp in one go. Whoosh. The ghastly white hand moved again. Before Maiden Sword could react, she too was instantly drawn in. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Not just Maiden Sword, Sis Moon, along with Sis Clay Figurine, Sis Angel, and Maiden Knight within the nameless Taoist temple, were all drawn into the black lamp too. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The black lamp gave a bout of shaking. Haha. Sis Immortal Sword gave an eerie smile. The Elf Queen and the others shivered and trembled. After a good while, the black lamp flashed with radiance, and the several Sisses and several maidens, as if flung out of the black lamp by the ghastly white hand, each with disheveled hair, seemed to have suffered some incomparably dreadful torment. Whoosh. The ghastly white hand holding the black lamp suddenly aimed at me. Radiance flashed, seeming to want to draw me in. Only, nothing happened at all. The ghastly white hand clearly froze. Swish, swish, swish. The several Sisses and several maidens also froze. The Elf Queen widened her eyes. Holy crap, Duke! Sir ignored the power of the eerie, ghastly white hand and the black lamp. Swoosh. The ghastly white hand holding the black lamp moved again. This time it drew no one in, but flew to below the divine willow, maintaining a lamp-bearing posture. The many figures in the domain looked over, unable to comprehend for a moment. Come, draw the world card. I raised my hand, drawing the first card. Whoosh. Radiance flashed, and the world card transformed into a world entrance. Faintly visible, that world sea of blood surging to the heavens. Faintly visible, that world streaks upon streaks of swordlight slashing across the firmament. The world card, the Shushan world. Dragon Maiden Qigong, can you take down this Shushan world for me?